Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Gone. Okay, guys, I think we are ready to go. Make sure everything is up and running. It appears that it is. Gotta shut the audio off there as I'm a goofball. Let's get this one going too. It is time, Random Task. How you doing, man? All right. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything up and running here correctly. Oh, hang on just a sec. All right, I'm back. I had to get my potato set up here as I use a computer that that isn't working all that well as my secondary laptop. Hey Breeze, what is going on? You guys watching the draft? I've got it on here in front of me while we do this, so yeah, we'll kind of do a little talking here about both. First 7 picks are in already. I missed the 7th pick as I was going live, but Louisville catcher Henry Davis went first overall. Nobody really saw that one coming, so bit of a surprise there. Leiter went number 2 to Texas, which was a bummer. That was the guy I wanted on the Red Sox. That was the pick I wanted for the Red Sox, but Sox got what a lot of people were considering to be the best prospect in the game at number, or the best option in the game at number 4 in Marcelo Meyer, who, if you guys, I think you guys probably, I'm sure you probably watch my Tigers play through. Marcelo Meyer has been a staple on that one as well, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna get into this now, and we'll talk about that as it goes on. But yeah, we are 1-0. It's been almost a week since I played. I played this last game and finished opening day last Tuesday. So it's been almost a week since I've played. We did win on opening day. We won 8-4 over San Francisco. Just as a reminder, the only big move we made this past offseason was picking up Willie Castro to be our starting second baseman. All tweeted, have a great show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate the platform. Hope you're having a good weekend as well. And yeah, Breeze and Random will keep me busy for the next couple hours, I'm sure, as they're here every week. So cool. Yeah, so we won game 1. We picked up Willie Castro in the offseason, and that was really it. We're still waiting on Ben Guess, who's going to be out with an injury for another 8 to 9 weeks. We did make one. We picked up Jordan Hicks as well to improve our bullpen. So those were the 2 offseason moves we made. I think we're in pretty good shape this year, actually. Our 2 major competitors, as always, will be the Dodgers and the Padres. gutted about England losing, but back to commission. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I was out of the house most of the day. It was a nephew's birthday today, so I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. But I heard England missed like 3 penalty kicks or something like that, which, soccer fans are known for their patience and their understanding. So I'm sure those guys are going to have a really easy time of it here going forward. Anyway, so the Dodgers, they lost Gavin Lux in the offseason. They're still pretty loaded, especially pitching-wise, with Buehler. Brandon Hudson's only 24. Yeah, he's really good. Kershaw's still hanging in there at 39. Carlos Duran looks okay. Dennis Santana looks okay. So their 4 and 5 starters are Kumar Rocker. Brees was probably the other guy. But to be completely honest with you, I am ecstatic that they got Marcelo Meyer at 4. He was, by a lot of people's estimations, the top player in the draft, and the Sox got him at 4. They said, I'm watching the draft on MLB TV, and they have his offensive comp as Corey Seager and his defensive comp as Brandon Crawford. I mean, that works for me. I'm perfectly okay with that. So, so offensively, the Dodgers still look pretty. Mookie's 34 years old now. Corey Seager, speak of the devil, has regressed a little bit. Bellinger's still Bellinger. Torkelson hits a ton of home runs. So it looks like the Dodgers may finally start to slip here a little bit. The Padres, they still have, again, their pitching staff, Keller, Haynes, and Gore, their top 3 are phenomenal. Yeah, Rocker slipped a bunch in the draft this year. There was talk initially that he was going to be one of the top 2 picks in the draft, and he slipped and slipped and slipped and slipped. And I didn't see who picked. Actually, let me look real quick. I didn't see who went at 7. But yeah, Rocker was supposed to go. Yeah, the Royals took Frank Mazzucato, a high school pitcher. So Rocker has slipped to 8. Which is pretty crazy. Let's see who the Rockies pick. The Rockies are picking now. So as we get ready for our Rockies playthrough, the Dodgers have won 4 in a row, Chris, in my playthrough. The Rockies have taken. Who did the Rockies take? Benny Montgomery, a high school outfielder. So in our 2021 draft, we were able to get Jack Leiter. They take Benny Montgomery. Let's see if Benny has made nope, he's a double A outfielder in the Braves system in our playthrough. So he didn't make it. But in real life, he was drafted number 8 by the Colorado Rockies. So all right, let's get to a little bit of sim in here. Yeah, Chris, as I said, the Rockies had won. If we go to league history, the Dodgers, we started in 2021. They won in 2021. They didn't make the World Series in 2022. So they've won 6 of the last 7 World Series. So hopefully this is the year that changes. So, all right, let's start simming here. We got a long way to go. It's April 1st. All righty back. Let's go. Yes, let's go. So game 2 against the San Francisco Giants. We got Jack Leiter starting in this one as well. Well, I guess it's today. Let's see how it goes. That's a tough one. A 9-8 loss. Willie Castro, 7 for 10 in his first 2 games. Leiter goes through 5. Ooh, that's not good. Our bullpen struggled. All right, well, what are you going to do? You're not going to win them all. We are 1-1. Let's move on to game 3. A 5-1 victory. Leiter's not going to be, or Meyer's not going to be a bust. Meyer is a solid player. I think he's going to be really good. Only question is where's he going to play? I mean, he's probably a couple years away, but obviously he's not going to play shortstop with Bogarts there. A couple years down the road, Xander could move to third with Devers moving to first, or you could move Bogarts to first and make Meyer the third baseman. I don't know. Anyway, so we win game 3, 5-1. Home runs from Wozniak, Castro, and Veen. Patino goes 7 shutout innings in his first start of the year. So we take 2 out of 3 in our first series. Now we take on the Cincinnati Reds. 3-0 loss. I think this was Denny's first major league start. He goes 6 1/3 innings, gives up 1 unearned run, and we're not able to get him any offense as Roth. That's a start right there. He's only got 27 stamina, but he strikes out 12 in 7 1/3. All right, so we're 2-2 through 4. Still too early to make any conclusions. Another loss. Let's try to avoid the sweep here. Tyler Glasnow out for 5 weeks. That's going to be an issue. All right. So we're dealing with some injuries already this year, which is something we haven't had to do much of really here in this playthrough. Sademon Parker, I guess, is going to get that start. So, all right. So we win 7-2. So that's good. That was, Glasnow only goes 2 2/3 before he comes out with an injury. Home runs from Wozniak, Adele, and Ramirez. Stamina and out of the park used to only be relevant to recovery, not to how deep they can go in the game. Is that really? I always just assumed stamina was how deep they could go in a game. I was not aware of that. Angels pick is in. Garrett Anderson is their representative, and Garrett has gone full gray. Garrett Anderson with the gray hair. All right, so we got Leiter going. We got the Dodgers. So an early test here. So we have Costi, Shock, and Duplantier have to go to the minors. And we have a 3-game set against the Dodgers. No, Breeze. I mean, Major League Baseball, you're drafting the best player available. That's just the way it is. You're always just going to draft the best player available, and you make it work. And he was the best player available. He was just the best player available, and you figure it out. What they were saying about him is that, he could be a shortstop. If he's not a shortstop and Bogart's still around, they'll just move him to third. Xander's, he may not have the range to play shortstop, 5 years down the road. So, yeah, right, exactly. Random. You get basically 5 years before they can start. Although, Meyer's a high school kid. He's 18 years old. So, who knows what he's going to be at 21, Sam Bachman, a right-handed pitcher out of Miami of Ohio, goes to the Angels at 9, I think is what I saw there. All right, so 3-game series against the Dodgers. Early season test for us. Game 1. Come on. It's a 9-3 loss. Game 2. Wow, okay. This is not going all that well. So we win 1 out of 3 against the Dodgers. We are 4-5. Yeah, Brady House is going to be interesting because he can pitch, but he can also hit a ton. There were some people that were saying he was going to go to the Rockies at 8 and that he would hit, he would be, 40, 50 home run guy there in Coors. But, Brady House can pitch, but I think he's going to be he'll be a first baseman. Yeah, I don't know if he's as good a pitcher as Ohtani is, so I think, his future's probably third base. All right, so we're 4-5. Let's get through this series against Philadelphia before we sort of readdress things. An 11-3 win, so that's nice. We get back to 500. We had home runs from Wozniak, Ramirez, and Veen. Pacheco, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Arias, 3 hits. Our offense seems to be doing fine. Denny picks up his first big league win, going 6 innings. Game 2 against the Diamondbacks. This is the first year I've actually sat and watched the draft, and it's really interesting because having played now, 1,000 hours of Out of the Park 22 already, I've grown accustomed to a lot of the names, and I know a lot of the names, so it's interesting to see what people actually think of them. Players get drafted. Yeah, right. I mean, a random task, usually, especially at a high school, most of those players are, they might be a starting pitcher, but they're probably also the best hitter on the team. If they are truly a Major League Baseball prospect, most of those guys are going to be pitchers and, starting center fielder or, starting third baseman on days they're not pitching or whatever. So you're absolutely right. So we've won 3 in a row, so that's good. Smith goes 4 1/3. Luke Lito comes on, pitches 2 2/3 shutout innings. All right, so that's good. And let's see, can we get the sweep of Arizona and move to 7-5? We do. We win 10-2. We're 3 games out of first place, which means the team in first place is 10-2. The stupid Dodgers, man. Are you kidding me? I'm getting so tired of this. All right, anyway, let's look at this box score. So we had a good series here against the Diamondbacks. We win all 3. Jose Ramirez, 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, 4 runs scored. The Mets pick is in, and the Mets take. Who do the Mets take? The Mets take Kumar Rocker falls to the Mets at 10. So huge, big pick there for the Mets. Mets fans got to be happy about that. Random task, aren't you a Mets fan? You're a Mets fan, right? Yeah, you're a Mets fan. How do you feel about Kumar Rocker to the Mets at number 10? Yeah, I figured you'd like that one. Rocker to number 10. He fell. But that seems like just a great pick to me. Considering he was supposed to be, a Rocker up there now with Syndergaard and DeGrom. He's 21. He could be in the big leagues next year, man. That's a rotation. That's the rotation the Mets have put together. Sademan Parker picks up his first big league win. So let's get back to what we're doing here while we do this. So we've won 4 in a row. We get a day off. 3 games against St. Louis, 3 games at Philadelphia, and then we'll pause and take a look at things. It's a game 1 here against the Cardinals. 2-1 loss. Game 2. It's a 3-2 win. Wozniak having himself a season. 373, 6 home runs, 12 runs knocked in. Louis Patino. Foley's already blown 3 saves this year. We're paying this fool $12 million. Let's go, dude. Game 3 against the Cardinals. It's a 5-1 win. All right, so we've righted the ship here over the last week. We are 6-1 in our last 7. Jose Ramirez mashing the ball, 373, 7 home runs early on. Adele hitting okay. His slugging's a bit low. Veen has gotten off to a rough start. Drew Jones has gotten off to a very difficult start. Denny picks up the win. 7 innings, 1 run, 11 strikeouts, no walks. All right, so we are still 3 games out at 9-6. We go to assuming most of these, almost all of them are, Chris. I haven't pulled up all the names. I think there was one player I haven't looked at yet, but so far everyone in the top 10 are in the database. The great thing about the Out of the Park Baseball development team is that they have really in most of these games, and they do this with Franchise Hockey Manager as well, they go out as far as they're able to go out. So you can look at, the draft pool isn't up right now, but you can look at the draft pool for 2022, 2023, 2024, and it has fake names because, they got to fill the spots. But if there is a player that they know is eligible for the draft next year who's going to be a top pick, he's in here. He's in the database. So these guys just do an amazing job. You get 2, 3, 4 years of real prospects before you start getting into fictional names and fictional stuff. So very cool. And they do the same thing with Franchise Hockey Manager. It's the same way. So, all right, let's keep going. 3 games at Philadelphia. Game 1 is an 11-7 win. So we're now 7-1 in our last 8, 10-6 overall. We are still 3 games out of first place, though. We can't get any closer than that. Adele gets his average up over 300 with a 3 for 4 game. Drew Romo with a grand slam. We had 4 home runs: Wesniak, Romo, Adele, and Castro. Let's see who's left out there. Any big names? Ty Madden's still out there. Gunnar Hoglund. I think Gunnar Hoglund is another Vanderbilt guy, I believe. I think they had 3 starting pitchers that were potentially going to be first-round picks this year. One year you had a draftee who was a real-life 14-year-old prospect. Yeah, right. I mean, if they have a name and they know when that person's going to be eligible, they can plug him into the game. It's pretty interesting. Smith gets hit hard, but our bullpen comes in and does the job. Luke Lito picks up his 3rd victory of the season. Game 2 at Philadelphia. A 4-0 win. And we pick up our 500th win. Let's go as manager of the Colorado Rockies. Shea Langelier gets the start, goes 3 for 4. Gabriel Arias hitting 300. Sademon Parker goes 7 2/3 innings of shutout ball. Very nice. All right, let's play this last game against Philly, and then we'll pause and take a look at some stuff, and we win again, 8-1. So we are on a roll, guys, and we are still 3 games out of first place at 12-6. I assume they use perfect game to get prep players. You might play a fiction. Breeze, I absolutely love fictional games. I have one going offline that's like in 2055 or something like that, because and I love the fictional leagues because you don't have any preconceived notions about any of the players or anything like that, and players develop and you become attached to them, and I have a fictional league that I love. It's grown since it's 40 years into it or something like that. It's grown from like a 16-team league to a 24-team league. But yeah, I love it. All right, so what happened here? Joe Adele, 2 for 4, 3 runs scored. Looks like he hit a couple home runs. He's had a nice start to the season. Luke Lito, I got to get Luke Lito some more playing time, guys. I mean, he is just tearing it up, both offense. Look at this. He's 3-0 with a 1.86 ERA on the mound, and he's 8 for 19 hitting. I got to figure something out to do with Luke Lito. Sal Stewart's hitting. Zach Veen is not hitting. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we start thinking about getting Lito some additional playing time out in left. You like to do historical players, but fictional teams in re-sim history. So, like, you would take real players and create, like, fake team names and re-sim a history that way. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if any way you can do that with out of the park baseball. I don't think you can. That's a good point. But yeah, I love fictional leagues. It's what I play when I'm not thinking about either this playthrough or my Rockies playthrough. All right, so we are 12-6. Jack Leiter picks up his first win of the year. 12-6, 3 games out. Let's look at our mail real quick. We signed a bunch of minor league free agents like we always do. We brought back Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on a minor league contract. So we've got that depth if we have some injuries or we need to make a move. Ronald Acuna, F in chat for Ronald Acuna's season. He is out for the year with a torn ACL. Hits his 300th home run in our playthrough. Anything? Nope, nothing we need to look at here. All right, so just at a quick glance, again, we're 12-6 and 3 games out of first place. You can, but there's little bugs here and there. It helps with learning the history. The history of... You mean like learning the history of your fictional league or learning the history of the players? I mean, I guess both, technically. But so we have the top offense. We're third in runs scored, second in home runs, first in batting average. Wow, I don't know how we're not first in runs scored. Pitching has been... Our starters have been meh. Carter Smith has not been good. But we are without Glasnow and Guest for the time being. I mean, do we potentially try to start somebody else here? Mason Wynn, I want to leave in the bullpen. mean, we could start Lido. No. Do we have anybody? I don't think Horn's ready. Hasn't pitched above Double-A yet. Yeah, I mean, you learn the history of. There's Al and Jack Leiter of the Texas Rangers. Yeah, I like doing historical or fictional sims rather. I like doing everything really. I mean, I like doing historical sims because I like seeing where the players end up. You may have Willie Mays turn into a bust, or you might have some one-star player, or somebody who was an average real life player end up being a Hall of Famer. And it's one of the things I dig about Out of the Park Baseball. So, all right, so we got Carter Smith, who's getting absolutely smoked. I feel like I think we can spare Detmers in the starting rotation. Our pitching staff has been pretty solid so far, so I think we're going to give Detmers a shot here. We're going to put Carter Smith in at long relief, and Mercardier's getting it done, so we'll make him our middle reliever right now. Tyler Johnson's getting it done, so we'll use him more often. We will just leave Carter Smith there, and we'll just kind of run with this for a couple of weeks and see how things go. But yeah, we're 12-6, so I mean we've gotten off to a good start, no complaints. Tied for the third best record in the National League with the Braves. Yeah, I mean this is shaping up just like last season, right? I mean this is exactly how last year started. So more of the same. Willie Castro's gotten off to an okay start. I'd like that average to be higher. For $27 million. I mean, it's still early, so I'm not going to fuss too much, but he's putting up an 800 OPS. Wesniak, Ramirez, and Adele are carrying us. Veen is not hitting. Jones is not hitting. This one is shocking. Just exactly how bad he's been when you look at his ratings. So hopefully it's just a, beginning of the year struggle. I am, however, going to, so we got Isaac Pacheco coming in every sixth game in left field, I think. So we got Lido coming in. He's not playing much. I think I want Luke Lido coming in and starting. We're going to give Lido a few more chances out in left field and see how that bat picks up. So see if we can get some additional at-bats for him while Veen is struggling. So we got 3 games against the Mets, followed by 3 at Oklahoma City. So game number 1 against the Mets is a 6-2 win. So we continue to win. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins in our last 11 games. Luke Lido gets the start in left and immediately goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Willie Castro, 3 hits. Reed Detmers gets the start. I mean, that couldn't have worked out any better. So we put Lido in the starting lineup. He picks up a couple of hits, couple of RBIs. We put Detmers in to start, and he goes 5 2/3, gives up 2 runs and strikes out 9. So that worked out perfectly for us. Game 2 against the Mets. 4-1 loss. So we got to stop playing on Wednesday. We are 0-3 on Wednesday. Can we pick up the series win? All right, so we're now 5 games out. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do against this Dodgers team. All right, 3 games at Oklahoma City, and we come back with a 5-2 victory. Ramirez 3 hits, Adele with a home run, Romo with a home run. Sademan Parker pitches 6 innings, gives up no runs. Smith continues to just pitch terribly. And Foley's been really bad. Like, I can't afford this. I just, with how quickly we fall behind in, who'd the Nationals take? Nationals are taking Brady House. Brady House goes to the Nationals at 11. So, I like that pick. All right, game 2 at Oklahoma City. 4-3 win. We picked up 2 in the 8th, which means Leiter didn't get the win. Yeah, Leiter pitched 5 2/3. Mason Wynn gets the win. Ramirez hits his 10th home run of the month. Look at the month for Jose Ramirez. 388, 10 home runs. Ugh. All right. So good. I mean, you can't complain with a 15-8 start, right? I mean, you just can't. And we lose there, so we're 4 games out at 15-9. We got 4 games left here in the month. I'd like to go 3-1. If we can end up 18-10, I will take it. Game 1 against Pittsburgh is a 14-4 loss. Willie Castro gets suspended for 4 games. So we're 15-10. 9-2 win there. Drew Jones with 3 hits out of the leadoff spot. Wozniak has his average up to 370. He's got 13 home runs in April. Ramirez 2 hits. Adele 3 hits. Pacheco 3 hits. Denny picks up the win. The rookie is 3-1 on the air. There's your boy Kumar Rocker. Random task, and he is pretty solid in this playthrough. Look at those numbers, man. 93 stuff, 73 movement, 52 control, 100 slider, 96 fastball. Oh, he's pretty good. All right, so what do we got now? We have our 3rd game of the season of the series against Pittsburgh. 6-4 win. 3 hits for Romo, 2 for Adele, 2 for Veen, whose average is still under 200. I don't like that. Foley picks up the save, but gives up another run. Sademont Parker continues to just be lights out. I got to figure out my closer situation, and we got to figure that out right after this game here. So let's sim the final game of the month, and then we'll see what we can do about our closing situation. 2-1 loss. All right, so we end up April 17-11, which, I mean, is a good record, and I'm not going to complain about 17-11, but we are 5 games out of first place at 17-11. Look at the Dodgers and the Padres, man. Like, that's just not fair. Just not fair. It's okay. We'll keep plugging away. We'll break through eventually. Wozniak 2nd in the National League in hitting. 1st in home runs. Ramirez is tied for 2nd in home runs. Joe Adele 3rd in RBIs. Wozniak and Ramirez 1-2 in OPS and WAR. We got nobody on the pitcher side. Yeah, this has not been as good a year pitching-wise as last season was. And really offensively, too. I mean, we're only 4th in runs scored through 1 month. Our starters are 6th in ERA. Bullpen is 7th. Foley is not getting it done. Jordan Hicks, oh my God, look at that. 13 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 20 strikeouts, and no walks in the first month for Jordan Hicks. Yeah, I would like to improve I sit here and I say I'd like to improve our rotation, but we get Glasnow back in a week, we get Ben Guest back in a month, and that could be enough. But what I'm thinking about doing is there's no one on the trade block. What I'm thinking about doing is seeing if we can land a big fish, frankly, here in during the regular season, and if that means we have to give up some of our Sethers 27. I appreciate you following. And I forgot to do this. This is something I always do, and I forgot to do this. So bear with me here just a minute, guys. And I think this time it's actually going to work, random task. Trades are always good for streams. Again, Sethers 27, thank you for following. Thank you for following the GM Games channel. I also have a YouTube channel where I do my own stuff, and that time it actually worked. I didn't get blocked this time. If you're having a good time here, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, you can head over there, and there is more stuff over there. All right, so let's take a look. We're a month into the season. We're 17-11. We get 2 of our best pitchers back in a month. So in a month, we're going to have a decision to make here. But I would like to, let's find a starter. Trade Drew Jones for 5 mediocre shortstops. Yeah, I don't know about that. That I don't know about. But I am interested in trying to pick up I would love to pick up, obviously someone like this, but, we've got a little bit of money to spend. I mean, where's Pittsburgh? I mean, is Kumar Rocker an option? They're 7-21. mean, do we have? Is there anything we can even start with here that might make them interested in picking up and sending us Kumar Rocker? He signed long term. I'm just curious. I mean, we can't. Oh, right. We can't. Okay, we can't afford it. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the issue. Is that we are kind of up against it with money. So we're going to have to find somebody who's A, good, but B, quantity over quality. That's how trading works. No, it's not a bad contract. I just can't afford it. We don't have. I mean, we've got some. I don't want to say hefty contracts, but our payroll just isn't where I would like it. I mean, if our payroll was closer to $200 million, then sure. But my computer's acting up. Hang on. Not my streaming computer, my other computer. Restart tonight. All right. Might be time to sell high on Adele. Yeah, that's not a bad option. Especially since he's not our... I mean, he's actually hitting quite well. I mean, 290, 909 OPS. He's not our starting center fielder. I mean, we could move Adele, and I mean, we could easily we could slide Lito into right field. We could put Chico in right field. We could teach Sal Stewart right field. So we have the bats. Yeah, they're not interested in trading him. And that's fine. I just, that was the first name that popped up. So let's go back here and let's take a look at starting pitchers. Although I haven't found that selling high is a real thing in this, because again, they don't. I mean, I think they look at some of the stats, but they look at the ratings, they look at the potential, and that's how they make their decision, regardless of how well someone's hitting. So someone like Adele, I mean, is a 4-star player. Maybe someone like Giolito? Would the Angels be interested in trading Giolito? Where do they stand, standings-wise? They're 12-16. I mean, it might be really too early to be looking at something like this, but I mean, like Jim Denny and Joe Adele for Lucas Giolito. If I'm the Angels, I take that in a heartbeat, but I guess they're in win now mode, so maybe not. But personally, I try to sell high on guys who are close to the end of their contract versus selling on young controllable assets like Zach Veen. I'll say you don't play out of the park offline, only online versus selling low on young controllable assets who are performing poorly like Zach Veen. Sure. I mean, Zach Veen his history indicates that, he'll bounce back from this. I mean, he's had 3 great seasons for us. So, I mean, history tells us that he's not just going to fall off a cliff, but that's one of the things about out of the park baseball that you just never know. He's also not really all that cheap. He's making $6.5 million this year. All right. I don't want to spend too much time doing this right now because I want to keep simming, but I want to see if there's an option. I mean, maybe we can grab ourselves a 4.5-star pitcher or, even a 4-star pitcher that's better than what we have. Like, I would love to pick up someone like this. I mean, he's 4 stars. He's arbitration eligible. And really, I don't have anything that would make this trade work. Really? Okay. Out of the park baseball just doing their thing. Joe Adele, Carter Smith. Yeah, see, I like the offer. I just need a little bit more. So make this work now. Sam Wozniak. That's not a little bit more. Venus, 3 years control left and is 4 years younger. Yeah, right. I mean, he'll be around longer. And, especially if he has a down season, he's not going to be asking for $13 million like Joe Adele or like Joe Adele is making right now. But, I mean, I like this deal. He's 27. He's got great control, good stuff, decent movement. He's coming off a 200 innings year, 15 wins, 219 strikeouts. I'm going to submit and see what they give us as an offer and then kind of go from there. All right, so we have 2 games against Miami here to kick off May. We lose again. Yeah, so the only person they want to make this deal work is Sam Wozniak, and that's just dumb. I'm not giving you Sam Wozniak, so let's start with this. Let's just see. Let's see if there's any value for Joe Adell out there to begin with. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, Joe Adell's only going to bring back a potential 3-star pitcher who isn't as good as what we have going out there anyway. That at least tells me there's some value there. Just a matter of finding the right team. Gunnar Meyer. I mean, he's not bad, but I mean, who would someone like this start over, right? I mean, like this. Yeah, that I saw that too. He was a fly ball pitcher. Like somebody like Gunnar Meyer is not bad, but he wouldn't start over anybody we have in the rotation right now. So what would be the point? Yoniel Cure, no. All right, well, Joe has some value. I mean, that's good to know. What about Carter Smith? What about Carter Smith? Let's just look at all players and see what sorts of value Carter Smith has. Same thing. All right. Well, looks like if I want to make a deal, I mean, I have it set on hard for a reason. So, yeah, offense isn't a problem. I mean, technically, neither is pitching. I'm just looking for a starting pitcher that is better than what we already have. Yeah, he was making like $8 million or something like that. But again, who would he start over? I mean, is he really that much better than Detmers? I mean, maybe. But in a month or in a week, Glasnow comes back and Detmers is getting bumped back to the bullpen anyway. So, all right, we got to win. We've lost 2 in a row here against Miami. We win 3-1, so we're 18-12, 5 games out. Castro's got his average up to 313. That's what I like to see. Oh, man. Hell. Okay. So that's what this year's gonna be like, huh? That is what this year is gonna be like. Let's see what happens with Patino. Day-to-day sore elbow recovery expected to take 1 to 2 weeks. I think it makes sense to DL him. And Medina's hurt. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. 1 to 2 weeks though. Yeah, I saw that. He was like 0-3 with an ERA of 10. Okay, so we get Glasnow back in a week. So for the time being, I mean, AAA hasn't started yet, so there is nothing to base it off of. We're going to call up Horn, and we're going to put Horn in for Patino for the time being, and we're going to leave him as an unspecified, and we're just going to run with a 13-man. Which, I mean, it's one of the advantages to having both Mason Wynn and Luke Lito out there who can both hit and pitch. So we can make a move like this, and Patino probably won't pitch much, and that's fine. So we win this game. Denny goes to 4-1. Mercardier's getting hit hard. Johnson's not pitching well. Foley, the ERA's coming down a little bit. All right, so we've won 2 in a row. Game 2 against the Cubs. Another win. Glasnow, oh, come on. Glasnow suffering from a forearm strain. So that's 3 of our... I don't trust the day-to-day injuries. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. All right. You convinced me. He'll go on the 15-day DL. We'll call up Bennett. Bennett's a middle reliever. I mean, Denny and Parker, man. Like, I mean, look at our pitching. Our starting rotation right now is 4/5 guys that we drafted. We drafted Denny, Horn, Leiter, and Parker. I love it. And even Carter Smith is starting to come around a little bit out of the pen. We won again. What happened here? 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Wozniak. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Ramirez. Luke Lito's still hitting close to 400. Adele with 3 RBIs. Romo's had a nice bounce-back season offensively. Jones still with no home runs. I mean, defensively, he's still one of the best center fielders in baseball, but he's just not getting it done offensively. All right, last game against the Cubs. $19-1 win. That's how DeGrom became a $35 million half-star pitcher that day-to-day just piled on and combined until he fell apart. Yeah, I feel like they stack up, right? You know, I mean, he could have a sore elbow, and he could have a sprained ankle, and he could have a scraped knee, and all of those things all of a sudden lead to him, you know, needing Tommy John or whatever. So 19-1, the big win here. 8 RBI. Look at this. 4 for 5, 5 runs scored, 8 runs knocked in for Jose Ramirez. He hits 3 home runs. Luke Lito, Lito has to start every day at this point, doesn't he? I mean, he has to, right? I mean, look at these numbers. 23 of 54, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 426, 537, 741. How do I not get him in the lineup every single day? Shea Langelier is our backup catcher, hitting 350. Horn gets his first major league start, goes 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run, walks 1, strikes out 7. You like to see it. Veen's got that average up over 200. I mean, I agree selling high on Joe Adell is a potentially the right move to make, but he's on pace for 49 home runs and 140 RBIs. Just want to see something. I'm not going to trade him. I just want to see something. Yeah, 1250 OPS. I got to figure out a way to get him into the lineup every day. There's not much there for Zach Veen. Not much there. I want to see something. Yeah, our bench, man, is really, really solid. You got Sal Stewart, 9 for 24. Isaac Pacheco, he's struggling a bit. We could look to get Pacheco out of there a bit and get Sal Stewart some additional playing time. Get some Stewart some time at second just to kind of get him some reps. Yep, basically. Yep, as long as he hits somewhere close to this, I mean, a 206 OPS plus, he could literally be the worst fielding player in the history of the game, and it wouldn't be a problem. And frankly, he's been above average at first, so he's only played a couple games there. But I mean, it brings up a really interesting question. I mean, do I train Lito as that super sub and just find a home for him in every single game, or do we potentially move on from Wozniak when he starts to get expensive? I'm looking to see who's picking up. The Giants are picking now. What about Isaac Pacheco? I mean, we got him last year. I know there was some interest in him in the offseason as I was looking to make some moves. Yeah, there's a lot more value in Isaac Pacheco, so maybe he's one of the key pieces as we look to upgrade. Our starting pitching. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of great talent options, but there are options. So that might be an option. All right, let's keep going. As we sweep the Cubs, we win our 4th in a row. We go to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. 12-3 loss. Oh, okay. So we just get swept, and we are now 8 games out of first place. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. Like, how is this team 29-7? Defensively, we're middle of the road. Bullpen, we're middle of the road. Offensively, we're fine. I mean, it doesn't help that we're out 3 of our I don't want. Yeah, I could turn on universal DH, but I don't want to do that. If there's going to be a DH, I want the game to put the DH in place. Well, that sucks. 3-game losing streak after a really nice 4-game stretch there. Oh, good. Now we go to San Diego, or we take on San Diego for 3 games. So we could be 11 games out of first place after this. Game 1. A 12-6 victory. It's not great, but I'll take it. Zach Veen with a nice game. 5 RBIs. Drew Romo with 3. Carter Smith picks up the win. This could be knocked around their bullpen a bit as Jagger Haynes is down for 2 months. Tough game for them. Game 2. Oh, man. 10-4 loss in Game 3. 5-1 loss. Wow. Okay. We're 10 games out of first place. We are 10 games out of first place. Still in the wild card, tied with the Marlins. We're 10 games out of first place, 7 games behind the Padres. We have the top 3 home run producers in the National League, top 2 in OPS, 2 of the top 3 in WAR, and we are 10 games out of first place. I guess I need to look at this from a different perspective. I need to look at this from we're not going to catch the Dodgers and Padres, so it's just a matter of just what do we got to do to make the playoffs and hope that we can win that 1-game wild card. Let's go back here. Players, starting pitchers. All right. I need Guess back. Get him back in a couple of weeks. That'll help. Jackson Finley. Extreme fly ball pitcher. Morejon. I won't be able to get him. Josh Palmer. No. Tanner Brubaker is an extreme ground ball pitcher. But I don't know. I feel like if we make a move now, we're making it just to make it. And I don't know that I want to do that. I mean, we're 22-17. Our offense is fine. Our pitching staff is middle of the road, but that's because we're without 3 of our starters. I have to think, Leiter's gotten off to just an awful start. That's not helping. But I have to think that once we get Patino, Glasnow, and Guess back, and we have them in the rotation instead of Detmers, Horn, and maybe even Leiter, at least here initially, that things will rebound. So we're gonna hold the line here for a little bit and see what happens against Washington. 11-3 victory. Will Bednar goes to the Giants. Let's look and see how Will Bednar is doing in our playthrough. He's in Double-A. Not very good. Has not made it out of Double-A. He was a 6th-round pick in 2023 in our playthrough. It looks like he was taken by the Dodgers in the 6th round. It didn't make it, which I'm fine with. So Joe Adell, 2 more home runs, 4 RBIs. Willie Castro, 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Detmers pitches 8, picks up the win. Foley still has an ERA over 11. That's killing me. So let's at least do this. Let's go in here and let's make Hicks our closer. Foley, we're going to move to middle relief for now. Tyler Johnson will become our other setup guy, and we'll just run with this for a bit and see if Foley can get his crap together. Game 2 at Washington. 7-6 loss. Game 3 is a 4-3 loss. We get Glad. We're 12 games out of first place. This is just friggin' ridiculous. All right, who goes down? Bennett is going to go down to AAA. And we get Glasnow back. And Patino's ready, too. He just has 2 more days on the DL. So Glasnow goes right into the rotation. Detmers becomes setup or middle relief, used more often. All right. Now we're taking on Atlanta, one of the best teams in the league. So Nolan Arenado hits his 400th home run. Oh, we didn't look at any of this. I got out ahead of myself here. Smith declined. Patino declined. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, our pitching staff is not as good this year as they were last year. AL batter of the month was Jung Hoo Lee. I haven't shopped Foley. I will, though. But he's making $12 million. When I shopped him in the offseason, I got almost nothing for him. Wozniak was the batter of the month. AL pitcher of the month, Yoendris Gomez. Brandon Hudson wins the NL. Miguel Vargas is the pitcher of the month in the AL. And Sademan Parker wins the pitcher of the month in the NL. Anything here going on? Didi Gregorius is going to retire at the end of the year. Let's just do that now and see if anything has changed. I mean, we've got some pieces. I think maybe if we do like a Foley and Pacheco with either, there's nothing. Foley and Pacheco with either Adele or Veen, we might be able to get some interest. I mean, it's at this point, it's clear we're not going to win the division. The Dodgers are 35-7. I mean, I was talking about them having a down season, and they're 35-7. But we're going to be battling with 6 other teams for that wild card spot. So that's my goal at this point. We're a month and a half into the season, and I'm already talking about just getting the wild card. So let's see what happens against Atlanta. An 8-6 loss. Game 2. An 8-2 win. We get Patino back. Horn can go back down to AAA. We'll get Patino back in the rotation. Oh, he pitched yesterday, so we got to do this. All right. So we get the victory there. That's nice. Glasnow comes right back and picks up the win. 2 hits for Romo, 2 hits for Wozniak, Castro, and Ramirez at the top of our order. Can we win the series? No. This is ugly. All right, so we're 3 games at San Francisco now. Holy crap. Are we going to be Are we going to be sellers this year, guys? I mean, I can't believe I'm about to say that, but are we actually going to be sellers this year at the trade deadline? We're not even in 3rd place anymore. We're behind San Francisco. We've lost 4 games in a row. We are a 500 team. We're 14 games out of 1st place. We're 2-8 in our last 10. We've lost 4 in a row. We're 2 games out of a wild card. What do I do? What do I do? So let's go here. Lito's still hitting 400. I think the first move we do is this. Is we make Luke Lito our starting left fielder. And we bench Zach Veen. I think that's move number 1. Yeah, exactly. Well, what's funny is that, I mean, we looked at their roster when the season started, and, I mean, they looked good, but did they look that good? I mean, they got Mookie Betts, who's hitting $150, Will Smith, who's hitting 203, Marcus Simeon's hitting 210, Nick Allen's hitting 224. They have 3 starting pitchers with ERAs over 4, and they're 38-10. Like, how do you explain it? I mean, their bullpen is lights out, but is that really it? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's okay. It's still early. We can still make a run and end up with that wild card. So that's what we're going to shoot for here. I mean, look at our lineup. Look at our top 5 hitters. I mean, that's just ridiculous. All right. It's okay. It's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll get through it. We get Ben Guest back in a week. We have our full complement of pitchers, and then we can go from there. Jason Foley is a train wreck. We got to get him out of there. Logan Gilbert is not having any success at all since leaving Colorado. Look at that, 4-17 last year. Yeah, there's not even anybody on the trade block yet that I'd really want to move. Steven Strasburg, no. He's out for a while. Gratterall, Corbin Martin. Upcoming free agents. He plays for Atlanta. All right, so we need... I think the first thing I want to do is try to shore up the bullpen here. And I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. So let's go here and let's look at all relievers. Looking for a ground ball guy. They had him. They started him last year. He's fragile. Victor Munez. Urias. Yeah, Urias has just been an absolute monster for the Dodgers in this sim. An absolute monster. Rincon is gone for 5 months, so that would have been a nice option. Foley's trash. He's got to go away. Can we get Carrillo? Are you interested in trading him at all? Are you interested in trading him? I do have a great sense of humor. Yeah, they're not interested in trading him. All right, we need a bullpen arm. Quinn Priester, Pittsburgh again. He doesn't look too bad. Hector Ramirez. I like Ramirez. He's 26. Would you be interested in trading for... I have no players who can make this work. I find that really hard to believe. Really? You really, really like this guy, huh? Okay. All right. We're going to keep going. Jaron, it hasn't been good. Yeah, what you've missed is that pitching in cores is hard. What you're learning is that the Dodgers are 38-10, and we are 24-24. And I don't want to say the wheels have fallen off because we still have one of the best offenses in baseball. Our pitching staff has really struggled this year. We were without Patino and Glasnow for a large portion of the season. We've been without Ben Guest for most of the year, and we can't get it done. So I'm not entirely... Jason Foley has fallen off a cliff. He was 44 saves and a 1.72 ERA last year. He's put up an ERA of 12 in 19 games this year. So our closer has just been awful. Since we put Jordan Hicks in as our closer, he's been awful. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. I figure shoring up the bullpen is the easiest thing. But with who? Like, nobody is available yet, and the players that are upgrades over what we have, the teams don't want to give up. So, I don't know. I just don't know. So that's what you've missed. You've missed that this season has been a step backwards compared to where we were last year. Maybe a pitcher who's struggling for a pitcher who's struggling. Yeah, see, like, nobody wants to give up any of their pitchers. So, I mean, I can find someone down here who might be... No, I can't. I'm not going to trade with the Dodgers. Sam Bello, I mean, he's been okay this year in limited time, but is he really that much better than what we have? Tommy Doyle, we've had him before. We traded him. What trade was this? Oh, the area steal. Right. Okay. Yeah, our bullpen is in rough shape. And it really shouldn't be. Any interest in trading Sam Bello? All right, well, at least there's some interest here. I mean, I'm certainly not giving up Joe Adell for him. You want to take Foley off our hands? Okay, well, what if I retain his salary? Just to get him out of my hair. All right, how far back? All right, let's go here. Let's submit, and let's see what we get in return. Sort by movement. Yeah, that's what I was looking at when I was looking at the player list. I was looking at the movement, and I was looking at their ground ball, fly ball potential. Because, I mean, we've had some of these guys. We've had Tim Hill. He was no good. We had Tommy Doyle. He was okay. We had Sir Anthony Dominguez. He was no good. We have Jordan Hicks. We have Tyler Johnson. We've had Matt Foster. So we've had a lot of these guys. All right. Well, let's see what happens there. All right. Let's start with that and see if we can bounce back here a little bit towards the end of the month. Almost. All right, so they want... It's fine. You want Jason Jones? You can have Jason Jones. Let's discuss this trade again. Let's find prospects. Let's find Jason Jones. Super. You want him? This trade is not in our best interest. I disagree. All right. So that should close that trade down and get him off our roster. Cool. Good. So Jason Foley and Jason Jones to the Rangers, getting Sam Bello in return. Let's complete the deal. The fan interest decreases by that's I don't know. I mean, I get that he is a popular player, but if I were a fan of the Colorado Rockies, and our closer on May 23rd was 1-3 with a 12.38 ERA, giving up 26 hits, 22 runs, 5 home runs in 16 innings, and we traded him for a 26-year-old cost-controlled pitcher who has essentially the same ratings, I would be happy about that as a as a fan of the team. So I don't know. All right, so let's get Sam Bello in there. Let's make him a middle reliever, and let's just see how it goes for now. All right, so we got 3 games against Cincinnati. Game 1. And we are a sub-500 team. Back to 500 with a 5-4 win. Almost blew that one. Hicks did blow it. He blew another save. As soon as we made him a closer. Like, what is going on? Lito with a couple of hits. Joe Adell with a couple of hits. Veen's still not hitting. As soon as we made him a closer. All right, so let's move him back to setup. Who wants to try being closer now? Mason Wynn? Sure. Mason Wynn, you get to try being the closer now. Let's see how this works. Game 3 against Cincinnati. It's a 17-4 win. Well, that doesn't affect the closer, but it works. 4 RBIs for Stewart and Arias. 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Wozniak and Lito. 3 hits for Adell and Castro. That's a game right there. Patino pitches well, 2 runs and 6, striking out 10. Wozniak hits his 20th. Romo is 5th. Castro is 8th. Arias is 20th. So we win 2 in a row. And we go to the Dodgers for 3. Are we going to be 18 games out? You're an OOT player, not the fan who goes to 2 games a year with the family and doesn't understand the strategy or knows who plays for the team. Yeah, you're right. It's, I mean, people see the name and, and they would freak out, I suppose. But from an analytical perspective, getting rid of a closer that we're not going to keep, getting somebody who's cost controlled seems to me like a pretty good bargain. All right, so I'm taking bets now. Before I start this series, we are 26-25, 15 games behind the Dodgers, who are 41-10. Are we 18 games out when this series is over? Or are we going to win any of these games? In Los Angeles, what's going to happen? Are we going to win 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3? Are we going to sweep? Are we going to get swept? What's going to happen? I'm going to look at mail while you guys tell me what you think is going to happen. Who's this? Bryce Moore, 3 home runs for the Rangers. Good. Patino's working hard to give back. That makes me happy. Oh, Tony Gonsolin. Oh, no. Career over. Torn labrum. You hate to see that. Had a great year and a half with us. He had signed a huge contract, I think, with the Cubs. Yeah, 4-year contract worth $45 million. And the Cubs are on the hook for all of that. That sucks. Random Task, always coming with the positivity. You love to see it. Jaron thinks we're going to go 1-2. Let's see. Game number 1. 9-3 win. Take that, Random Task. 9-3 win. Jose Ramirez, 3 for 5. Romo picks up 3 RBIs. Lito homers. Drew Jones homers. Jim Denny. John Denny was a pitcher in the 80s. 6 1/3, picking up his 5th win. All right, so 14 games out. Let's see what happens in game 2. 7-3 loss. All right, so Adonis Medina is back. Who goes down at this point? Yeah, I mean, if you look at our pitching ratings, they're not... Our pitching stats are not terrible. Leiter still only 1 win in 10 starts. That's rough. Carter Smith looks like Smith is going to go down, I think, right now. I can't be dealing with his nonsense. Injured list. We get Medina back. Long relief. And can we win the series? Let's see. Can we win the series? Let's try to win the series. No. So, Jaron, you were right. We lose 7-6 in 12. And we get to Kershaw for 6 in 6 2/3 innings, but our bullpen just isn't able to manage. Wozniak homers, Romo homers. We are 27-27. Let's get to the end of May. Ugh. All right, let's just get to the end of May. We got 3 against Arizona, who's the only team in the West worse than us, so maybe we can end the month positive here. All right, so we pick up the win. Leiter goes 5, gets the win in that game. Ben Guess is back. Bellows pitched well so far. Who goes down? Mercartier. I don't think I can send Parker down. I mean, he's pitched well enough that I think he's earned the right to stay up. We have 2. Well, no, Applegate's a pitcher who's also a starter. Lito is or a reliever. Lito is a hitter who's also a pitcher, I think. McCartier is out of options. Give Guess a... Yeah, you're probably right. He's been out for a while. That's a good call. That is a good call. Rehab assignment. Looking at your fit, maybe I have below average pitching. Well, yeah, I'm the Rockies. Of course I have below average pitching. Pitching stats. I mean, I don't know. I would say if I'm the Rockies, anything under 4.5 FIP, I would be thrilled with. And that's really half our rotation, or half our pitching staff. I mean, Sademan Parker at 4.5 FIP as a rookie, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, some of these other numbers are not good. I mean, Adonis Medina, I mean, it's a small sample size, obviously only 10 innings, but that's not good. All right, let's get to the end of the month. We'll look at the team stats and see if we can sort some other stuff out. So we're 28-27. We win game 1. We lose game 2. In game 3, as we go to June, is a win. So we end up the month 29-28. 17-11 in April. 12-17 in May. 12-17. And Luis Patino wanted us to give him some money. I think we can probably do that. Sure, we will start a charity. Joe Adell is day-to-day for 2 days. Jack Leiter was day-to-day as well. Player development report. Anything good here? I need some good news. I need something good here. Leiter 2-5 with a 5.25 ERA. That's not good news. Denny got a little better. Lito continues to get better. Average at 382. Arias offensively got worse across the board. Chad Horn got better. That's nice to see. Yeah, that's nice. We'll continue to let him pitch in AAA, but that's nice to see. Elijah Hamill got worse. He's a trade chip I got to use before that. Also, you have Guess on rehab, then a pitch. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, we'll leave Guess there for a couple. I mean, he hasn't pitched in a year, so it probably makes sense to let him get a couple of rehab starts. AL Batter of the Month, Bryce Moore. NL Batter of the Month, Freddie Freeman. Bobby Carter of Jacksonville is your Pitcher of the Month. Yamaoka of San Diego, the NL Pitcher of the Month. Moore is your Rookie of the Month. And John Dodd of the Nationals is your NL Rookie of the Month. All right, let's delete. Let's keep going. All right. So, and my goal here, guys, is to see how far we can make it through July. So I don't want to spend, way too much time on the day to day. I mean, obviously, there's stuff that needs to happen here. We're still only a game out of the wild card, so we're certainly not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Once we get Guess back, I'm hoping that helps. I was contemplating trading Negron. I don't know that his value is ever going to be higher than it is. He's a ground ball pitcher who throws 101 miles an hour, but he's already 20, and he's not really developing, so that might be something we try to do. Yeah, and it's we've gone right back to where we had been in previous seasons. I mean, last year our pitching was top 5 in the National League, and this year we are 11th in starters and 9th in bullpen. So, we'll keep shuffling stuff around, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I don't know that there is anything we can do. Pitching-wise, Denny's really the only one who's pitched well, I would say. He's the only starting pitcher that we have that's actually pitched well this year. As a rookie, he's really saved us this year. 2 WAR already. Patino, up and down. Chalk that up to injuries. Parker, as a rookie's pitched okay. Hicks, as long as he wasn't a starter, or as long as he wasn't a closer, was fine. Glasnow is settling in. I think he'll be fine by the end of the season. Leiter's just had a miserable year start to finish. Given up way too many home runs. 2 home runs per 9 is significantly higher than what he's done in the past. I mean, he's been 1.3 and under every year, so that's not going to get it done. And he seems to have leveled off, but still, with these ratings, I would expect more out of him. I don't know. Yeah, and then the rest of our pitching has been up and down. This feels like 2 years ago where, we couldn't get everybody going at the same time. And that's a problem. Because if you just at face value, you look at some of these ratings, they don't look terrible. But you do a little bit more digging, and yeah, I mean, you got some higher FIPS and some pitchers that are having some down years. Offensively, I mean, Jose Ramirez is on pace for 10 more. He's on pace for 60 home runs. I would say this was a pretty good free agent signing. Wozniak was probably the best trade we've made in this entire playthrough. He's on pace for 60 home runs and 8.5 WAR. Joe Adell on pace for 51 home runs and 6.5 WAR. Willie Castro's having a nice first year with us, 2 WAR already. Luke Lito has put up 1.6 WAR in 102 at-bats. 20 walks, 19 strikeouts, a 1.100 OPS, 167 OPS plus. Drew Romo's having a nice year with some power. Gabriel Arias has taken a step backwards offensively. How's his defense this year? It's still been fine. Langley has been fine in a backup role. Sal Stewart's been good in a backup role. Romo's still not hitting. A little bit more power. He's got 3 home runs this month, but I mean, if this is where he ends up, we'll be fine. It just hasn't happened yet. B is hitting, but I think he's probably bad defensively. Yeah, he's terrible defensively. Pacheco's not hitting this year, and Veen's not hitting this year. So let's try something. Let's do this, and let's do this. And let's do this. Is anybody interested in Isaac Pacheco and Zach Veen? The Twins are willing to give us Jake Garland, who looks to be a pretty good pitcher. He's on the league minimum. The control worries me, but really good movement. Doesn't give up a lot of home runs. He's only given up 5 in 57 innings this year. On an at-bat at basis, Lito is your best hitter. No, he's not. You're bad at math. And he's been great. You know, we put him in the starting lineup because he was hitting and Veen wasn't. What if we do this? What if we add veterans? I mean, I'm contemplating this. What do you guys think? Again, it would be I don't want to say salary dump, but Pacheco. What if it was just Pacheco? Okay, so they want both. I like the fact that he's cheap. He's on a nothing contract, but I feel like that again. I feel like that's a sideways move. I feel like if we're going to move Pacheco and Veen, he's hitting third right now, I think, Jaron. So Garland, good stuff, good movement, below average control, good stamina, not a hard thrower, but his movement tells me he's not going to give up a lot of home runs. He may walk some batters. Yeah, I mean, his control hasn't been good. His control actually has been it's been bad. Control's a little concerning. BABIP's kind of low, which tells me he's getting a little unlucky right now as well. What other pitchers do they have? They got Mike Anfinson, who's a 5-star pitcher. I don't suspect they would give me him. I mean, yeah, I've got a sense of humor. Yeah, not interested there. Tanner Brubaker. Ooh, I like him. I like him a lot. This might be the target, guys. He signed long term. My pitching coach is personnel. Nelson Gerardo, pitching focus neutral. I mean, he's done a good job with us in almost 3 full years. So, legendary teaching pitching. Yeah, Brubaker's the one I'm looking at, but they want for him. So, what can we do to make this happen? Adele. I mean, I could give up Joe Adele, but add Adele and try to get Brubaker and Garland? Yeah. Really? What about Guidi? Where is he? I mean, I guess my only issue with making a deal like this is we've got so many starting pitchers. I feel like if I'm going to make a deal like this, I should send them a starting pitcher in return. As for the pitching coach, if he had that's a good point. I mean, if I remove this and did this, I hate to give up 3 outfielders. You know, I mean, that's my only concern here is giving up my starting right fielder and then 2 of my backup outfielders. I'm completely content giving up Pacheco and Veen. Do I have any pitchers that can make this work? So let's start with Carter Smith. No, you don't want Carter Smith. What about... I don't want to give up Hornby. He's a ground ball pitcher. I get so attached to my prospects. I get so attached to my prospects that it's just hard for me to go, Yeah, let's maybe I can get Devin Futrell. Like I would can I do this? Would you take Adele? Rycroft or Negron? I mean, is that a thing? Tanner Brubaker and Devin Futrell for Pacheco, Veen, Adele, and Rycroft? What was wrong with Grams? He's not really a starter. I mean, he's only got 2 pitches. If he had a third pitch, sure, but he's a bullpen arm, which I need. But I mean, this feels like a ton to give up. If I could somehow make this work without Adele, I would be all for it. This is tough. I mean, they will take that trade. Yeah, see, Jaron, I have a problem with it adding Adele. I mean, I'm better with this. I mean, like Pacheco, Adele, Rycroft, and Andahar for Brubaker and Futrell. What about something like that? Because Futrell, I mean, he's got 3 pitches. He's got the stamina. He could be a starter. We'd probably have him in the bullpen right off the bat, but we get 2 minimum guys in return. Or I guess, no, Brubaker, right. Brubaker signed long term. I mean, the only piece here that I'm really fussed about giving up is Joe Adele, and that's just because he's having just an absolutely ridiculous season. You think I can get more than just Brubaker and Futrell for these 4? Whoa, what about this guy? Joey Camarata. Oh, okay. I mean, this really improves our pitching staff. If we can, I mean, this guy's crazy. 5 plus pitches. What would it take to do that? Okay. Sure, you want Franchi Cordero? You can have him. What are we thinking about this? How are we feeling about this deal here, guys? Joe Adele, Isaac Pacheco, Devin Rycroft, Miguel Andahar, and Franchi Cordero for Tanner Brubaker, Devin Futrell, and Joey Camarata. I'm feeling better about this than I was with it being, I mean, I don't think they're going to, I mean, I still would rather give up Veen. Yeah, okay, I'd have to do a whole lot better. So what if I took Cordero out? I just want to see. Yeah, it's Adele or nothing, really, with these guys. And I feel like we've got a glut, so to speak, in the outfield, and this would clear up the glut. And offensively isn't our problem. It's pitching. Remove Pacheco and see who I can add. Nobody. Nobody. Just Pacheco. And since I'm at 5 players, I can't, there's no make this work now. I can't submit it without him. What do we think? Is this, I mean, we're taking a step backwards offensively, but I think what we would do here in this particular case is we would just stick Veen out in right field. Lito becomes our starting left fielder. And we get 3 pitchers who are immediately 3 of the best pitchers we have in our lineup or in our rotation. Tanner Brubaker becomes an immediate starter. He's got 4 elite pitches, good stuff, good movement, good control. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher. He's good control, so he's not going to walk many pitchers. He's locked up long term. He's locked up to his age 33 season. Devin Futrell, 24 years old, potential 4.5-star bullpen piece. Could also be a starter. My guess is his stuff drops into the 60s. Will I be able to send down 3 pitchers? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. Marcardier's out of options. We could potentially send down... I don't think so. Honestly. I think we would have to either DFA or trade a couple of them, which I'm not against. I mean, Jordan Hicks is signed to a 1-year deal. I would be completely fine moving on from him and his contract. If we had to package Hicks and Mercardier to get rid of Hicks's contract, that would be fine. Medina, I mean, maybe he's run his course. I mean, we claimed him on waivers, and he's put in 4.5 solid years for us. I mean, we could make it work. I feel like this is a deal I'm going to make. Try and trade them now. Let's see what we get. The New York Yankees select Trey Sweeney out of Eastern Illinois. We can get another pitcher. I mean, I guess trading 2 pitchers for 1 pitcher just puts us in the same place, but you know, maybe we can find someone with an option. Like this guy, like a Matt Allen. Does he have any options? No. He doesn't, but I mean, high leader, high work ethic, high adaptability. And he's not terrible. We could pick up JT Real Muto to be our backup catcher. He's back in 4 days. That might be fun. Try to trade Medina and Hicks. Mercardier's out of options too, so I'm going to have to figure out something to do with him. Yeah, there's not much here. I could add Mercardier and pick up JT Real Muto, and he could be our backup catcher. 2 4-star players from the Dodgers. I could pick up Pablo Lopez. We were trying to pick up Pablo Lopez previously. It's crazy that he's in their bullpen. Ooh, Bobby Witt. Look at that. Holy crap. What happened to him? Oof. That's rough. I mean, I'd rather not trade Mercardier, but I mean, he is what he is at this point. He hasn't been all that good in his opportunities with us. I mean, he's been better this year, but even still, I mean, the development isn't there. He hasn't developed like I would have wanted. The stuff just never seems to come around. If you look at his, where am I going? Ratings. Nope, not ratings, scouting. You can see he's just sort of stagnated. Nothing's gotten better. So, I mean, I would be fine trading him. But is there anything here that makes sense trading for? Yeah, not really. So I'm going to get rid of veterans here. Oh, I can't make any more shops today. You think he still has a lot of room to grow? The problem is he's out of options. So, I mean, I got to leave him on... on the main roster, which I mean, I suppose I could send down Sademont Parker and leave him on the roster. And then we trade Hicks. And that was dumb of me. Because now I can't go back and look. All right. Let's trade him to an American League team. Yeah, okay. Let's trade him to an American League team that has some money. Here, you want Jordan Hicks? What will you give me for Jordan Hicks? He looks pretty good. There was actually a guy on Minnesota, the prospect that they had. It was this guy. Can I get Chris So, Jonathan India. Was he on... Where was he? The Reds? He's making $8 million. Oops. Through this year. I mean, we are going to need some offense. We are going to need some bats after we make that other deal. So, let's... Can't give up Franchi because he's in that other deal. Josh Rivera. I mean, this isn't terrible. He would be a backup infielder. He's got a ton of power. I mean, he's already hit 15 home runs, which would offset some of the power from Joe Adell. He would be our backup second baseman slash third baseman because we've got Lito in left now. He and what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Stewart could be our backup middle infielders because we would be moving on for Pacheco and Adell. I mean, I'm okay with this. What do you think? Do we pull the trigger here and then pull the trigger on the Minnesota deal? That's what I'm thinking about doing. And then seeing how that team runs for a month and then see what happens in July. I mean, Hicks is signed through, his contract, it's team options for the next 2 years, but I think I'm good with this. Let's give it a countdown here. What do you guys think? Do we make this deal and then pull the trigger with Minnesota? Change some of the traded batters to pitchers. If I add Medina, can I get more? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, he's a 3-star, 30-year-old reliever. Yeah, see, that actually makes it worse. When I add Medina to the deal, it actually makes it worse. My guess is that if I DFA Medina, he probably doesn't get claimed. So if I add Medina, this gets worse. But can I get anything else from them? That's a good question. Would you give me Ian Moeller? I have to do better. Yeah, I'm not giving up any of those players. Vanderhoof. R.I. Vanderhoof. Try to add a prospect. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I like this profile, the gap power and good eye discipline. He's a decent middle infielder. What about Braylon Minier? The answer is no. I'm not really interested in giving up any additional. I'd give up this guy. This guy's terrible. That's friggin' terrible. You want him? You can have him. All right. What about Ian Moeller now? Nope. Okay. What about if I do this and I add Ian Moeller? That tells me we're close. I'd like to just have some catching depth. Is really what the point of kind of focusing on Moeller is. What about Elijah Guzman? They really... Okay. Jackson Bennett. There we go. There we go. That does it. Here we go. That works. So we're going to give up Jordan Hicks and a bunch of stuff we're not interested in. Jackson Bennett's the only one that, I potentially am a little frustrated about giving up, but he hasn't pitched particularly well. He's an extreme fly ball pitcher with 41 movement in cores, and then a bunch of players who are garbage. And we'll get Jonathan India, and Ian Moeller, who we'll put in AAA, and he can be a backup catcher if we need him to. He can be a third string. I'm good with this. So we're going to pull the trigger here, and then we're going to pull the trigger on the Minnesota deal, and then we're going to reset things. We're going to see if that gives us a bump here in the month of June. So let's complete that deal. And then let's go back to the deal here with Minnesota. And can I throw Chris Hawes in? No. They were offering Chris Hawes to me in just about everything, so I figured I would see if I could add him as well. What if we take out Cordero? Okay, there we go. That works even better. 28-year-old Carlos Lamelli. You want him, you can have him. There we go. So it looks like a look, but not really in practice. His catcher ability was in the 60s. It was in the high 60s. It was like 68. If we go to here, yeah, his ability is a 58. His arm is a 70. I mean, it's catching depth, which is something we don't have behind Romo and Langley. If one of them gets hurt, we're going to be going to a 30-year-old journeyman. So I like bringing Ian Moeller in at age 24. He still has a lot of room to develop. So cool. Yeah. So here we're giving up Joe Adell, which is obviously the big piece. I'm hesitant to do it. Yeah, I think so. Random task. We really turn over our bullpen in this one. Maybe fire my assistant Jizz. Probably not a bad idea. Joe Adell's having just a monster season, but again, it's batting average driven. He's got 10 walks against 68 strikeouts. His eye and discipline's actually gotten worse. He's a very good defensive outfielder. Team option for next year at $13.5 million. Isaac Pacheco, prospect, number 67 prospect in baseball. Last year looked pretty good for us. Has struggled mightily this year. Doesn't play any position particularly well, but really, really good with the bat. Devin Rycroft, a 21-year-old pitching prospect who's got 3 decent pitches. Looks like he could be a decent pitcher down the road, potentially. And then Andujar and Lomelli are throw-ins. We're going to get Tanner Brubaker, Devin Futrell, Joey Camarata, and Chris Hawes. So let's go ahead and pull the trigger there. And, yeah, so they're really upset that we gave up Joe Adell. That makes sense. Let's see. We're down to an 87 here, but we've cleared up a ton of money here. Revenue per game is down because we're losing, but we have some stuff to do now. So Brubaker, Camarata, Futrell are all going to come up. That gives us 16 pitchers. We were going to DFA Medina, and we were going to put Brubaker in the rotation. I think Parker goes back down for now. Gets us back down to 13 pitchers, 24. So India's going to come up. And no, so we are going to leave Parker up. We are going to leave Parker up until Guess is ready to come back. Guess has pitched 1 game. He'll be back before too long. Moeller's on the 40-man. We'll put him in AAA. And let's reset some stuff. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so we've got Johnson as a setup man, and he's been fine, really, as our setup guy. I have no complaints there. Who do we want to make our... So we got a righty, so let's make Futrell our other setup. Camarata is going to be our middle reliever. We will use him more often. We'll switch Detmers back to normal usage, and that resets the pitching staff. Is Brubaker actually going to go today? No, he's not. Do I have anybody who's not tired? Nope. All right, so it's going to be a bullpen game probably. And the lineup. All right. Okay. So what do we do here? Is it Zach Veen out and right? Or is it... No, I think it's Lido in right and Veen in left, because Veen's glove is a little bit better in left field. So shortstop, our backup shortstop now is it India? It's got to be India. Yeah. So Jonathan India is going to be our backup. Actually, let's just do this and see what it says. Puts Willie Castro there. I didn't want to do that. Damn it. Okay. So we got to reset some of this now. So Stewart's our backup third baseman. India's our backup second baseman, backup shortstop. And he's going to play a little, I think. Sal Stewart will get some backup time in left and in right for some of that flexibility. And against lefties, Stewart's going to come in and play right field. Yep. 14 pitchers at the moment, not including Lito. You're right, I do. But I don't really have any bats to bring up. I mean, I suppose I could bring up Elijah Hamill, but to do what? I mean, our prospects are definitely skewed towards the pitching side of things. Where is he hurt? I spelled Isaiah wrong. Why is he in rookie ball? Damn it. No, this is what we're going to do. Kiner Falefa comes back up. So we got to send a pitcher down. And who's that pitcher going to be? Yeah, it was Parker. Did I forget? I must have just forgotten to set my... Yeah, I forgot to set my rosters like an idiot. So Kiner Falefa is going to come up. Chris Hawes is going to go to AAA. Let's just do this real quick. All right. I'm dumb. I am dumb. All right. So our minor leagues are set. I don't want Hawes in A ball. Let's disable that. Let's put him in AA. All right. Now we have Kiner Falefa back on the team, which is good. He can be our backup shortstop. He's going to get some starts there because of his defensive skills. Random task, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. None. I don't know what that means at all. Traitor to the House of Capulets? I don't know what that means. I suppose I should, but I don't. All right, so we're set. We're going to sim forward a couple of days, and then we'll talk about trading Thibaut Mercardier as we take on St. Louis. We win 9-0, so that worked. All those moves worked for us. Drew Jones, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. Drew Romo had 3 hits. Lito went... There we go. Luke Lito gets the start. Pitches 5 1/3 shutout innings, so he's doing everything for us. Camarada gets some time. Bello continues to pitch well for us. Applegate pitches well, so that works. Romeo... yes, Romeo and Juliet. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah, I remember, man. I'm old. I haven't read that stuff in ages. Let's just see what sorts of options are available. I don't want to... I really was hoping to make it into July in this, so I don't look at... I mean, that's... Like, I don't... Why would I make any of these deals? You know what I mean? Like, I may as well just keep him on the big league roster and see if he can develop, unless he just absolutely turns to garbage. I mean, we do need some hitting prospects. Jordan Walker? What do they teach in schools up in Boston? Not much, man. Not much. I wouldn't be averse to trading Mercardier for somebody like Jordan Walker. I mean, that gets us a bat, a prospect bat. Still has some room for growth. Still has a lot of power. He's a decent third baseman. Yeah, I mean, you're right. None of them are great offers, but again, they're, you know, the way I look at this is the AI going, all right, well, here's our first offer. They have anybody else they might have any interest in giving up? Pete Murphy? I mean, He was our first-round pick in 2022, but he seems to have stagnated. I mean, this gets us some of that depth in the minor leagues. And he's a terrible fielder, but he's a good bat. The Mets have interest. All right, what can we get from the Mets? Cartier. Would you trade me reliever for reliever? No. Joniker Palacios. Would you give me him? He still has plenty of... No. Nope. See, everybody has a thing, and this is my profile. This is the profile that I just love, this type of hitting profile. Have to do a whole lot better. I'm not giving you Negron, so that's a non-starter. I'm wasting your time. He was the number 1 pick last year, 2 years ago. Jose Dominguez. I don't need any more pitching depth. I think I don't mind this deal with Tampa. Gabe Earl. Are we talking? I might be a little bit behind. Are we talking about the Mets? We go back to the Mets. Who is Gabe Earl? Oh, right there. They're not going to. He's a 28 prospect in baseball. They're not going to give him. Oh, he was also drafted last year, so they wouldn't give me him. I don't think this is a terrible deal, honestly, because we get a couple of offensive players, which we're sort of lacking in the minors. Could we get Andrew Patrick back from Tampa? Would they give us him back? I don't want to give up any of these players. Extreme fly ball. No, Jeff Butler. Jeff Butler. Give me Jeff Butler. Give me Butler and take back Murphy. Yeah, see, they value him too. I really like him. I like this guy. I mean, he's never going to hit higher than 220, but I really like this guy. So what can we do? So can we just do that? No. So even so Ronzi Contreras, who we have in rookie ball, who's not going to pitch. So you'll do that. Okay. And then can we get, where is he? Where is Jordan? Do you have him in AA? You do. I don't want to give up any of those players. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to submit this offer and see if we can get them to come back. If you're trying to clear pitching depth, you're better off to DFA a guy than you are trading Mercartier for trash. I don't think Jeff Butler's trash. I mean, if he develops, if these numbers end up where even with the low contact, I mean, he could be a 350, 360 on base, 450 slugging guy with these. I mean, just look. I mean, he's hitting 208, but he's putting up a 758 OPS. I mean, he's hit at every level. Didn't really hit all that well last year in AA, his first year in AA, but he hit rookie ball. He hit really, really well in high A ball. So I don't think Butler's trash, and I don't want to give up Mercartier for nothing. So I'm going to submit that and see if that works. All right, let's keep going. We've played one game in 40 minutes. So let's keep going. Game 2 against St. Louis here in June. Yes, okay, there we go. And we win 9-5. So back-to-back wins to start off the month of June. Zach Veen back in the starting lineup. 3 for 3, 3 RBIs. Drew Jones looks like hits a 3-run homer. Yep. Glasnow pitches 5 innings. Detmers bellow. Mercartier gives up a couple of runs. Still nothing from Tampa, so let's see if we can sweep St. Louis here. We can. All right. Okay, so this is what I was hoping, was that they would come back to us with offers of players that... I'll give you Humberto Miranda. Absolutely. Prospects. Miranda was a 2-star prospect, but we're going alphabetically. So they want this guy, and they can have him. Submit that deal. So we sweep St. Louis coming out of May. So, I mean, I don't want to say all those deals that we made worked, but so far so good. We're 3-0 here in the month. Luke Lito, a couple of RBIs. Veen hits his 10th. Drew Jones with 3 more hits. Willie Castro with a couple of hits. Brubaker, 6 shutout innings. There we go. There we go. Carson Applegate pitches 2 shutout innings. So, good start. Guys, I'm going to grab something to drink. I'm going to swing around to the other side of my desk. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. As you can see, it's what I do when I'm recording my videos, as those of you who are watching probably are aware of. You hear me say, okay, I'm back. I do it all the time. Just force a habit. Anyway, good start to the month. We're only 16 games out of first place. And we have the Phillies coming to town. Team schedule. Can we make it 4 in a row to start off the month? We can. All right, so good start to the month, guys. We're 4-0 this month. Zach Veen has gotten hot since we put him back in the lineup. 4 more RBIs. Jack Leiter pitches his best game of the year. 1 run and 6, striking out 10. Camerata gave up a run. That's okay. Mason Wynn picks up the save. His ERA has actually gone down since we made him our closer, so that is good. We are 4-0. We still haven't heard anything from Tampa on that deal, which is a bit concerning. At least I don't think we have. Nope. All right, and I wanted to really quickly just repost this. Those of you who are either new to the stream or haven't seen me before, my name is Aaron. GM Games has graciously given me a platform with which to poorly play out of the park baseball for those of you who like to watch. I do also have a YouTube channel, which is linked right here. I've got some other stuff going on over there, so if you haven't already, check that out and come say hi over there. Anyway, so we're 4-0 here in June. Let's see if we can take our 5th in a row to start the month. We do. All right, so... Okay, so now it's no way. And I'm not prepared to give up any of these. I don't understand what happened. Before it was almost. We gave you what you were asking for. So let's give you Elijah Hamill, because that was another name that was in that list, and I'm perfectly fine giving up Elijah Hamill. So let's try that. All right, so we win 7 once. We're 5-0 this month. It is random task. It does that sometimes. It shows up in pending. So Castro continuing to hit well for us. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Veen, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Romo, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Kiner Falefa, 2 hits and an RBI. Luke Lito still hitting .370. Patino pitches really well. Cool. So good start to the month. As we continue on here, Zach Veen goes down for 2 to 3 weeks. Gabriel Arias knocks in 6, goes 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Veen goes down for a while. B comes in, picks up a couple of hits. Denny continues to pitch well. Now we have to put Zach Veen on the injured list. That would have been a nice time to finalize that deal with Tampa and get and pick up Jeff Butler. We could have, well, I mean, I guess we could have called him up right away, but now we have a decision to make. Who do we want to call up for a couple of weeks? And really, this is going to be a situation where we call up somebody from AAA who's not on the 40-man. I think we may just call up Alex Dickerson just to have a body up, because if we have to DFA and we lose him, I'm not too concerned. Yeah, Kiner Falafel is the guy. So we're gonna put Sal Stewart in left here. We're gonna run with a high offense, no defense type of lineup here over the next couple of weeks. India's probably not thrilled. He hasn't gotten any play. You know what? No, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put, against lefties, we're going to put India in left. Because I think he can hit lefties pretty well. Yeah. All right. So we'll run with that for the time being. Let's see if we get a response to that deal from Tampa. We haven't heard anything yet. All right, so we're 6-0 here in June as we take on Random Tasks New York Mets. Game 1 is a 7-1 win. Adonis Medina does, in fact, clear waivers, so he'll go down there. And things have really improved here. Our pitching staff has really gotten better this month. We'll take a look here in a second, but Drew Jones hits his 5th home run of the year, drives in 3. Romo with a couple hits, Sal Stewart with a couple hits, Castro with a couple of hits. Bello and Detmers. Bello hasn't given up a run since we traded for him. 8 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. So can we look at our pitching stats in... Can we look at our pitching stats this month? Yes, what month are we in? We're in June. Where am I going here? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Only Mercartier has pitched poorly. Good start to the month. I like to see it. All right, still nothing from Tampa. We'll give it another day, and then we'll go back and look. No, he has absolutely no defensive ratings out and left, but I'm going to stick him out there and see what happens. Yeah, nothing, but I don't care. So, he doesn't even really, his ratings are terrible too. So he'll just play left for the time being. And we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, hasn't played a game yet. All right, so I'm going to give it one more day, and then we'll go back and we'll take a look and see what's going on with that deal with Tampa. Another win. So still no way. Okay. Ben. I feel like I should be okay giving this guy up. What do you think? His I and avoid K is the only thing that's in his defense, are the things that are making me say maybe I shouldn't. But I feel like at this point we're giving up too much to get. I mean, let's go back in here. They want Ryland, so if we put Ryland in there. I mean, I'd have to put him on the 40-man next year, which I really don't want to do. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I don't really care about. You know, like Hamill, we've talked about trading for like 3 years now. Mercartier, I'm gonna have to DFA once we bring Guess back up. Ryland is the only piece, and I would have to put him on the 40-man after this year, and he's never made it out of rookie ball. I feel like I should be okay with this. I think Tampa's getting too much too, but the way I look at this, Butler's the best player in the deal. Hands down, Jeff Butler's the best player in this deal. And our development budget is such that I feel like we can maximize. Ooh, Raleigh Fingers just made an appearance on my TV screen. I feel like if you can get the best player in the deal, yeah, you're right. I'm going to submit this offer. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. So we win 5-4, another victory. Shea Langlier drives in all 5 runs. Brubaker with another solid start for us. Camerata and win. So there we go. And we look for our 9th straight win here in June. And we don't get it. We lose 2-1. 2-1. So the offense gets shut down here a little bit. Leiter pitches well, though. So I'm not going to complain. They just pitched a little better. Draft pool announcement. We'll take a look at the draft pool, and then we'll keep going. So we're going to have a really low pick. Draft order. Mock draft. Has us taking Jonathan Woodward. Whoa. That's an interesting profile. I like it. I mean, he's already an elite defensive middle infielder, and he could hit 30 home runs and bat 240. I mean, this guy in Coors could be a lot of fun. Draft pool. But if they have us taking a 2.5-star guy in Andre Madugno didn't sign. Huh, he was drafted a couple years ago, wasn't he? Yeah, 2024. He didn't sign. Looks like there's some exceptional offensive talent in this year's draft. And there's some good... Wow. Bob Melfi. He's sure to be the number 1 pick out of Virginia Tech. All right, let's keep going. Carlos Pena wasn't a middle infielder, though. I mean, you know, it's different when you have a middle infielder with that kind of power. All right, let's play game 1 against Oklahoma City at home. 9-4 victory. So we're 9-1 this month, and we're 13 games out of first place. 4 RBIs for Wesniak, 3 hits for Drew Jones, who's finally starting to come around. Mercartier picks up the win, even though we're continuing to try to trade him. Schedule game 2 versus Oklahoma City. An 8-1 win. Yeah, so they don't want to make this deal. What is wrong with you people? So if I take Jordan Walker off here, and I take Ryland off, like, I would still be okay with this. I really want Butler now. Like, I'm, like, fixated on him. So we'll have to see what happens. So we win again, 8-1. Kiner Falefa is hitting .312. Langelier has just been a monster, man, as our backup catcher. It's just fantastic. 2 years in a row, he's been great. Jonathan India hitting .400 for us. 4 for 10. And he already has left field ratings. Look at that. That didn't take long. Denny picks up the win. Camerata. Bello has been, man, he's been super good. All right. 10 games over 500. You look for the sweep over Oklahoma City. And we get it. Warren Abbott. All right, last time done with this after this. If I can't get him after this, we're just going to have to, I don't know what we're going to do. But what this is telling me is that they don't want to trade him, is really what this is telling me. Again, another player that we would have to put on the 40-man this year. You are Random Task, and you do not endorse that trade. Okay. All right, well, then I'm not going to pull the trigger. I'm going to listen, and it's time to call Ben Guess up. He's pitched more than enough in AAA. So one more time, we are going to shop Thibaut Mercartier around. Let's see if we can get a decent 1-for-1. Xavier Isaac. He's not bad. Maybe we just go after someone like this. Decent contact, decent gap, decent eye. Power hitting first baseman. Wilman Candelario. Ariel Amador. We traded him to Milwaukee. Kurt Klingman. No. These deals are so difficult because I don't want to just trade him just to trade him, but I have to. I mean, just based on the offers that are coming to us, he'll get claimed if we DFA him. Yeah, I don't know. And there's nobody else on my on my pitching staff that I either can or want to send down. What if we do this? Let's try this. Anybody interested in Reed Detmers? He's not terrible. Can I get what's his name for Reed Detmers? I've already forgotten his name. Shows you how much I like him. Where is he? Jeff Butler. Give me Jeff Butler for Reed Detmers. I don't want to trade Carson Applegate. I don't want to trade Carson Applegate. On 1 to 100 rating, 50 is league average. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Orrin Abbott. You liked him before. I gotta get Guess up. It's not making any sense to leave him in AAA. He's literally the best pitcher on our staff. I gotta get him up. I can't send Applegate down. Not that I would want to. He's pitching well. Detmers has been our worst pitcher this year. Oh, that was a question. I would assume that's how it works. 50 would be league average if we're on a 1 to 100 rating. That's sort of how I've always looked at it. Can I send Detmers down? He refuses to be demoted. Mercardier, he's out of option years. I just wanted to make sure. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to pull the trigger on one of these deals here and call it a day. Pick the best player that I think is the best player because random task, you disagree with me, and that's fine. But I'm just going to pull the trigger at this point. This is taking way too long for the 14th man in our bullpen. Who was it that I was looking at before? He's not bad. He's got some pop in his bat. He's not very good defensively, though. Drew Gray. He's got some flexibility. His bat's not very good. And we come right back to Jordan Walker. I'm just going to pull the trigger on Jordan Walker. This was the deal that we were looking at initially. And I think I'm just going to do it because I don't want to just waive him and get nothing, but I got to get Guess up, and it's really the only option. And we're right back to where we were an hour ago, which is Mercardier for Jordan Walker and Pete Murphy. All right, so I'm just going to do it. Jordan Walker for Thibaut Mercardier. I gotta do it at some point, and then we'll call Ben Guess back up. Guess will go right into the rotation. Who does he replace? I think right now he replaces. Who does he replace? That's the next question. Patino's pitched well in his last 4 starts. Leiter's pitched well in his last 4 starts. Oh, is it? Yeah, I just always assumed that 50 was league average. I mean, because if you take all the ratings and you switch them from 1 to 100 to 20 to 80, then most of the 50s become whatever is considered average in 20 to 80, which is what, 45 or 50 or whatever. So Ben Guess moves into the rotation, replacing whom? I think Leiter makes the most sense just based off the stats, but I think I'm going to move Patino to the bullpen. I think I'm going to move Patino to the pen for now. And we'll put him in a middle relief role. And we will use him more often. And we will also put him in a stopper role. Actually, let's just start with him in a stopper role and see how that goes. All right. So now we can finally keep going. So we won 14-4. Did we look at this? No. Jose Ramirez 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. Sal Stewart had 4 hits. Jonathan India 2 hits, 4 RBIs, including a home run. Drew Romo had 2 hits. Tyler Glasnow picks up the win. All right. So the offense is rolling. The pitching staff is coming around. We are 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11-1 here in June. Let's see what happens at Pittsburgh. We win again. Offense continues to get it done. Jones with another home run, I think. Nope. Yeah, Lito and Jones both homered. Brubaker pitches and picks up another win. Walked 6 in 5 innings, but still picked up the win. All right, game 2. 7-0. Man, we are on an absolute roll here, guys. We were 12-17 in May. We were 2 games below 500 at one point. We are now 42-29. 2 for 4, 4 runs knocked in for Drew Jones. Ben Guess comes back, pitches 6 shutout innings, and hits a home run. So we are glad to have him back. 6 shutout innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a home run. And we look for win number 3 of the series. Do we get it? We do. We win 5-2. Offense continues to get it done. Lito this time, 2 hits. It's spread out 5 RBIs, or a single RBI from 5 different players. Made the right decision sticking with Leiter. He picks up another win. Patino in his first bullpen outing. Pitches an inning, walks 2, gives up 3 hits, strikes out 2. That must have been an adventure. All right, let's keep going. We get a day off, followed by 3 at Miami. Scheiber Candelario. Okay. No, we can just say goodbye to him. And we have to set up the minor league system again. Man, Horn's been really good, too. So that probably means that someone like Patino gets moved in the offseason. Oh, he's got a player option. He's probably going to opt out. So that might be a trade deadline thing that we look at with Patino. Because he's likely to opt out at the end of the year. He's making $11 million. He's going to get much more than that on the free agent market. Glasnow's contract is up after next season. We got a team option on him that we'll almost certainly pick up. We've got Horn and Parker and Smith all in AAA waiting to come up. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. 3 against Miami before the All-Star break. Can we continue our hot streak? We do. We went 6-5 and 14. 4 hits for Wesniak, 2 more for Lito. Denny pitches 6. Patino blows the save, but then the rest of our bullpen comes in and gets it done. Bello still has not given up an earned run in his time with the Rockies. 14 shutout innings so far. So the trades we made looked like they made a difference for us here, guys. We were treading water pretty significantly at the end of May. We were 29-28 at the end of May. We lost. We were 29-28 at the end of May. We're 15-1 here in June. Can we win again? No, we finally lose one. The last game going into the All-Star break is another loss. So we lose 2 in a row going into the All-Star game. Not ideal, but we're in a much better place than we were a couple of weeks ago. We are 44-31. We're 11 games out of first. We're only 4 games out of second. So we still got a shot here at that first wild card and get that home that home field for game 1 rather than having to play at San Diego again. Wozniak and Ramirez are 1 and 2 in home runs. Wozniak is third in RBIs. Ramirez and Wozniak are 1-2 in OPS. Ramirez is second in WAR. Jim Denny is third as a rookie, and this is really interesting because Modugno and Denny were both taken in the same draft, and Modugno went, he went after, so he was available to us in the draft, and he was more fully developed. He was 2 years older, closer to the major leagues, and we decided to go with Denny, who is 2 years younger and looks like he's going to be a better pitcher, so we made the right move. All right, so we're 44-31 going into the All-Star break. Who made the All-Star team for us? Let's look. So we had Carson Applegate made it. So our Rule 5 pick was our only pitcher who made the All-Star team. Offensively, we got Wozniak, Jose Ramirez, both starters, and that's it. So Ramirez, Wozniak, and Carson Applegate. Prospect game. Mike Hennon, really? He was he was that. He was a pitcher that we drafted and we turned him into a second baseman. And it looks like he's the only one. All right, well, let's sim through and let's at least get up to July. We'll probably start July. I don't know that we're gonna finish it because we've already been going for a little over 2 hours, but we will we'll at least get into July. Maybe we can get through the draft. Since it is draft night, after all, we should try to get through the draft here. All right, so who won the All-Star game? What am I doing? What am I doing? Go here. So the AL scores 5. They were down 4-0. They score 5 in the final 4 innings to win the game. For us, we have Jose Ramirez goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. Wozniak goes 2 for 2, gets on base 3 times. And Applegate pitches 2/3 of an inning, gives up a run. Jordan Hicks, now of Cincinnati, gives up 6 hits and 3 runs in an inning and a third. I'm glad we moved on from him. All right, so we got the Chicago Cubs for 3 games in the friendly confines. Let's see how game 1 goes. There we go, a 4-3 win. All right, so we can send Alex Dickerson away. Means we're going to have to DFA him, I think. Let's just try sending him down first. Yeah. Let's DFA him. I don't care. Let's get Zach Veen back in the lineup. Get Zach Veen back in the lineup. Get Sal Stewart back in there as the backup. Against righties. Or against lefty. I think I want to leave India out there against lefties. I mean, he's 8 for 20. Defensively, he's an absolute atrocity, but, I mean, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to bench Veen against lefties. I got to set this. Man, what am I doing? So Lito is... I think I had Lito in right, yeah? So Luke Lito's in right. Zach Veen's in left. Sal Stewart will be the third baseman. Jose Ramirez will be the DH. Against lefties, India will come in and play left field. And everybody else is a lefty. But I think that's fine. Luke Lito's going to come in and play right field because his ratings against lefties are still pretty damn good. So, all right. So game 1 was a 4-3 win. Who got the start in this one? Leiter went 6 1/3. So Patino pitched well in that stopper roll. 2 innings. He struck out 3. I know it's always been in June, at least in this playthrough. I think. I'm not entirely sure now that you mention it, but I think it is. I don't know. Anyway, it's over with. Wozniak had a couple hits. Ramirez had a couple hits. Romo with a couple hits. Team schedule. Let's keep going. Another win, 6-3 and 12. This time we scored 4 runs in the 12th inning. Luke Lito, 2 for 5, 3 RBIs. Langlier, is that a pinch hit home run? It sure is. Pinch hit home run by our catcher. Ben Guess hasn't given up a run yet in 11 and 2/3 innings. Bello finally gave up a run. Wynn blew the save. Futrell, Patino, Johnson all pitched well. Detmers gave up a run, but by that point the game was in hand. So we've won 2 in a row coming out of the All-Star break. Can we beat Chicago in Game 3? Yep, 10-6. So the hot streak continues. We were actually down in this one 5-3 before coming back and getting it done. Brubaker does not get it done in this one. He's had 2 really bad starts in a row. Bullpen picked him up, though. Applegate, Camerata, Detmers, and Wynn. Ramirez hits his 26th home run, has 4 hits, drives in 4. Game 1 at home versus the Brewers. Another win. All right, so he likes our team record. He wanted us to re-sign Joey Gallo. I'll show you why we didn't. This is why we didn't re-sign Joey Gallo. His ratings have plummeted both offensively and defensively. He ended up signing a minor league contract with the Baltimore Orioles, where he's only hitting .212 with 13 home runs and 77 strikeouts in 60 games. So we got more fans coming out, which is good. He's unhappy with our progress, which I don't understand, but that's fine. We have Negron as the number 10 prospect. Minor league system rankings have dropped. Yeah, we only have 2 of the top 100 now, and that's going to drop even further once Denny stops being a prospect. So we're going to have to start paying some attention to our minor league system. All right, so we are taking on Milwaukee. Game 2 is another win, 13-7. Glasnow picks up the win. Bello finally starting to get knocked around a bit. But that's fine. Glasnow improves to 6-1. Home runs from Wozniak, Castro, Ramirez homers twice. Romo picks up his 10th. That pinch hit grand slam for Drew Romo. It sure is. Pinch hit grand slam in the 8th. Okay. All right. Final game against Milwaukee. An 8-0 win. This has just been a crazy. Look at this. 21-3 in June. I don't know what it is about this team. 17-11 to 12-17 to 21-3. I mean, did those moves really? I mean, those moves we made on June 1st, that hour we spent trying to improve our roster really did it. Michael King, the former Colorado Rocky, still in the league. We win 8-0. 2 RBIs for Veen and Jones. Castro 3 hits out of the top spot. Jack Leiter goes 6 shutout. Cool. All right, so we are 50-31. We are 4 games behind the San Diego Padres. We are taking on San Diego here for 3 games. All right, let's see how game 1 goes. Well, the team was already up by like 3 runs or something when he hit that home run. I think they won by 6. Yeah, it's this one, right? Yeah. So that was here somewhere. Yeah, it actually didn't add yet. I mean, it helped. Certainly helped. But, all right, can we finish off June with a win? We lose 4-2. We played. I think the schedule just repeats itself. So I want to say we played all the same teams we played in April. San Francisco, Cincinnati, the Dodgers, I think. The schedule started over like here. Yeah. It started over right here. So kind of. We're at this part, which means in theory we should be taking on Washington next if that holds true. So let's see. Yeah, we're taking on Washington next. So, sort of. That's okay. We're 50-32. We just finished June. We're 5 games out of second, 11 games out of first, which is much better than we were at the... Seems like you've also... Huh? It seems like I've been worse teams since the trade. I don't get it. The schedule's just repeating itself. So we're playing some of the worst, some of the same teams. Like we played Arizona. We played Miami. We played Washington. We played Milwaukee. We played St. Louis. We played Cincinnati. We played the Cubs, who are obviously terrible. So it's basically just repeating. Let's take a look at the team stats before we get into July. Jim Denny continues to perform at a super high level for us. 8-2 in his rookie season, 3.12 ERA. Glasnow continues to pitch like an ace. I mean, he's just been great since it's one of our best signings. His record has been up and down, but I mean, he's been really, really consistent for us. Brubaker hasn't been great since coming over. Giving up too many hits, 38 hits in 26 innings, but he's not giving up any home runs. His BABIP is crazy high, so if he can get that under control, I think he'll be okay. Patino, like I said, we moved him into that stopper role, and he's been okay. He had this one bad game here, but his last 4 games he's pitched really well. He probably doesn't like being in the bullpen, but... No, I haven't played the Dodgers. Well, I did, but I lost to them, and we got him coming up again here soon, I think. Leiter's bounced back significantly. He was really, really good in June, 2.35 ERA, so that's nice to see. Detmers has gotten better. Camarada has pitched really well since coming over. 19 strikeouts in 12 innings. He's been really, really good. Mason Wynn, we made him our closer. He hasn't had many opportunities, but looks like he's blown a couple. ERA still 2.5, striking out a ton. Tyler Johnson's been pretty good. Ben Guess, 1-1 with a 1.62 ERA in 3 starts. Our lone pitching all-star, Carson Applegate, has been pretty good this year. Futrell we got from Minnesota as well. He hasn't given up a run in 5 1/3 innings, so no complaints there. Lito, I mean, he's getting it done. I mean, he looks like he's getting a little lucky, but he's getting it done. And then Bello has been fine. I mean, he got off to a super hot streak for us. Last week or so has been rough, but he's been okay. And offensively, as always, we're just raking. Jose Ramirez is on pace for 57 home runs, 9.5 WAR. Wesniak is on pace for 59 home runs and 8.5 WAR. Willie Castro's had a nice first season for us. I mean, if he hits 20 home runs, 41 doubles, 8 triples, and puts up 6 WAR, I'll take it. I'm concerned that his ratings are dropping already. This is going to be a huge concern down the road, but that's down the road. India's been pretty good since we picked him up. Lito's just been mashing all year. Drew Romo's power is back, which is nice. Already has more home runs this year than he had all of last. It's given him an 820 OPS. Jones is starting to hit finally. It's up to 10 home runs on the year. It looks like, yeah, I mean, June was an awesome month for him. 361, 7 home runs. Great month for Drew Jones. Arias is below average. His numbers have dipped this. Actually, I don't want to say his numbers have. Offensively, his numbers have dipped a little bit. I think fielding-wise, he's not as good, but fielding-wise, he's still pretty good. I think we may, honestly, as crazy as this sounds, we may move on from Arias in the offseason and see if we can keep Kiner Falefa. And just start Kiner Falefa at short for, a fifth of what we are of what we're paying Arias. Langley has been great as a backup. Stewart's been great as a backup. B has been fine. I'm hoping we can keep him up long enough. I hope we can keep him up through the year, and then next year we can send him to AAA to develop his outfield defense because he's got a really solid bat. Veen has not had a good year. No two ways about it. But there's still time, and again, he's shown that he has the ability, so I'm hoping the second half of the year things pick up for him. And then Kiner Falefa is doing what Kiner Falefa does, get on base and play good defense. So we have some money left for this year. We don't have a lot of money for next season, and that's partially because we're not playing well. Let's take a quick look. I don't think I want to make any deals right now, but let's take a quick look at the trade block after we look at this stuff. So Futrell got better. Brubaker his control got better. His movement got a little worse. Stewart got better. Carter Smith got worse. Looks like he's going to flame out, which is a bit of a shame, but it happens. Ian Moeller got better, so that's nice to see. Jordan Walker got better. I don't want him in high A. I want him in double A. Let's disable Julio Negron. It's our one really solid prospect at this point. Looks like he just got better. He's still in rookie ball. Let's go ahead and call him up to A ball. See if he can make some headway there. All right. AL Batter of the Month, Riley Green. NL Batter of the Month, Eloy Jimenez. AL Pitcher of the Month, Grayson Rodriguez. In the NL, it is Justin Lang. Bryce Moore wins the Rookie of the Month again. In the National League, it's James Wood. Keston Hiura traded to the Cubs from the Brewers. And it's now time for international free agents. So we got Jose Escarcega and Israel Real. I mean, I got to sign him just because of that name, I think. Israel Real. Yep, we're going to make an offer to Israel Real. See if he'll take our $5 million or if he wants somebody else's $5 million. And let's see if we can win a game or two here against San Diego. No, we start off with a loss. And we get swept. Of course we do. So that's not a great start to the month. Not a great start to the month. Now we're taking on Washington. All right, so we come back and win 11-10. That was a wild one. Look at those last 3 innings. We were up 3-1 going into the 7th. They scored 2, we scored 1, and then there were 14 runs scored in the last 2 innings of that game. Drew Jones had 4 hits. Glasnow went 5. Our bullpen just pitched like ass, but we ended up coming back and pulling it out, so that works. Mason Wynn blows another save. I don't know what it is about our closer position this year, but it's just not happening. All right, game number 2 against Washington. We're 1-3 to start off the month of July. Okay, we come back and win 7-1 there. Ben Guess, get a big pitching performance out of him. 6 2/3, 9 strikeouts. We got Atlanta coming up now. Where are the Dodgers? Or where's Atlanta? They're in first place. Yeah, we're back to 8 games out of second place. All right, well, we got a 5-game lead over the Giants, the wild card, 6 over the Marlins, 7 over the Brewers. Let's see how game 1 goes here at Atlanta. 4-3 win. We had Brubaker going in that one. Yep, he went 6, so good start there. Nice bounce back. He had been struggling for a bit. Patino, Futrell, and Wynn pitched 3 shutout innings. Wesniak with his 31st home run. Joe Mack goes 31st to the Miami Marlins. Willie Castro hits his 11th home run. Game 2 against Atlanta. It's a 3-0 loss. And Game 3 against the Braves. So we're 3-4 here in July. So, yeah, Random Task, you may have been right, man. It may have been we may have just been playing really bad teams in June. So we got an important series here against San Francisco as they're right behind us in the standings. Game 1, it goes to us, 10-5. Leiter pitches, doesn't pitch long enough to get the win. Patino picks up the win. We get another home run from Ramirez. That's his 30th. And it's time for the draft. Time for the draft. Eric Hosmer hits his 300th home run. We may do the draft and then call it an episode here, guys. So we sit 54-37, 5 games up on the Giants and the Marlins for that second wild card. This could be a repeat of last year where we go to San Diego and take on the Padres in the wild card. So, I mean, it's fine, I guess, but hopefully we have better luck. So let's get to the draft. Let's just get to our pick, which is number 35. And let's see what's available. So we got a 4-star center. Really? This guy's available? I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like, don't even think about it. Just make the pick. Why wouldn't I make this pick? Why wouldn't I draft Jim Pennell? I mean, the only thing that I see is that his positional ratings are bad, but, I mean, that's a left fielder anyway, so who cares? He's 21. He's already pretty developed. He'd probably start in Double-A. I see absolutely no reason not to take this guy. Absolutely no reason not to take him. Let's just look at pitchers real quick. Yeah, I see no reason not to take him. So that's going to be our first round pick this year. Jim Pennell, or Panel. $700,000. So nothing. He's got great speed. That's got to be the pick, right? Yeah, neither do I. So Jim Pennell will be our first round pick. Let's go to our next selection. Who do they think we should take? Carson Messina. Wow. He's 21 as well. He's already pretty well developed too. He'd be a decent third baseman. He's got some power, got a good eye. Not going to hit for a high average, but, you know, that could be okay. Pitchers. I don't want to draft up, on need because you just don't do that. But I feel like, yeah, right, exactly. Humberto Barrera. He might be the better pick. I mean, he's a center. I mean, he could play center field with those ratings. Do I want another outfielder, though, or do I want to go infield? Do I want to go Carson Messina? I like Messina's profile more. I like the home run power and the eye. But low loyalty, low work ethic. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Barrera is high leader, high loyalty, better defensively. He's going to hit for a higher average, potentially. I mean, he's already 21 and his contact is only a 37. So how much more is he really? I think I'm going to take Messina. He's much more developed. I think I'm going to take Carson Messina. And he only wants 190. So we're going super under slot here with these guys, which, I mean, I'm fine with. But so Carson Messina out of the University of South Carolina will be our second round pick. Let's move on. And now we're getting into the crap already. Okay. Are there any pitchers that are actually hitters? not this year. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Okay, so let's... Yeah, it's a crapshoot. I'm just going to kind of go through the things that I normally do when I draft is look at pitch potential. You can usually find a couple of decent players here that may be... you need to find somebody who's got like 5 pitches or someone who's got like 2 really good ones. Like Tristan Bristow, Texas A&M, except he's not really... I mean, he's already 21. If he was 18, that would be an option. Doesn't look like a good draft for pitchers. Let's go here. Let's go to fielding ratings. Catcher ability. I think this is our guy, Frank I can't get my mouth to say that. Alward, I guess. Junior college. Good catcher ability. Mike Gambone. Campbell Smithwick. Yeah, it really is a crapshoot at this point. It's a pretty garbage draft, man. I mean, really good at the top. I mean, I'll take what I got out of it for sure, but... Matthew Champion? Sure, we'll make Matthew Champion a batter. Not that he'll ever turn into anything, but we'll make Matthew Champion a hitter. Let's keep going. Do we have any high speed, high defense guys? Sure, Leo Chase. I like Leo Chase. He's 22. Good range, good arm. He's got good defensive ratings. He's got good speed. If we get that random talent bump and his bat comes along, he could be a decent player. Leo Chase, sure. Paul Powell, again, I like him. Can play a bunch of different positions. Low work ethic though. Ray Arias, you will be our next pick. Baseball rat, good defensive ratings, has some offensive potential. Sure. Let's go back to fielding ratings. Fielding ratings. Catcher ability. All my guys are to this. So we'll take Frank now. Infield range. Ben Huffman, really? All right, we're going to take Ben Huffman because he can play a bunch of different positions. Maybe we can make him an infielder or something. Who knows? Let's go back to batting potential. Yeah, we can take an 18-year-old with 65 home run potential. Maybe he'll develop. Oh, he's an impossible sign. Okay, never mind. Phil Hutchinson, 17-year-old. Who the hell knows? Sure. And I think that's going to just about do it for the draft. Let's go back and look at this. Chrissy. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Dan Scott, that's his... I don't want to see that. I want to see this. Our last pick will be Salvatore Santillan. Good defensively. High work ethic. Fantastic. All right. Let's complete the draft. Let's negotiate. Just give them what they ask for and call it a day. I gotta remember to put Pennell in like AA when it's all said and done. Leo Chase, that's fine. All right, so let's finish this series against San Francisco since it's an important series, and then we'll recap and then we'll call it a night. So game number 2 against the Giants. It's a 6-3 loss, and the third game of the series. Can we win the series? Please. Yes, we win 10-4. So we are 4-6 after a 21-4 or 22-4 June. So we scored 7 runs in the first in that one. Wozniak and Romo both homer. Brubaker picks up the win. 5 RBIs for Drew, 3 for Veen. All right, so standings. Oh, the Jacksonville Maulers, one of the expansion teams, 58-35 on the season. Wow, getting a lot of production out of the middle of that lineup. Good for them. All right, so let's save this real quick before, so we don't lose all the stuff we did here tonight. Detroit 56-37 atop the AL Central. The Rangers are 50-43 out west. In the National League, the Braves lead the Marlins by a game. Look at the Cincinnati Reds, winners of 10 straight games, closing within a game of St. Louis. We are 55-38. This is exactly the same thing that happened last year. We have the third best record in the National League and the third best record in the National League West. So this year, though, we've got a little bit more of a challenge as the Giants are kind of coming up behind us. 5 games out of the wild card. Marlins are 5 games out. Reds are 7 games out. Winners at 10 straight. Brewers and Nats are 8 out. Wozniak leads the National League in home runs. Jose Ramirez tied for second. Wozniak second in RBIs. Ramirez and Wozniak 2-3 in on base or OPS. Ramirez leads in WAR. We have nobody on the pitching side of things. Let's quickly just take a look at this. So Willie Castro again, I mean, his ratings dropped again. They were 71 last time we looked at this like a week and a half ago. They're down to 68. This is going to be a problem considering what we're paying him. Yeah, this contract could end up, I mean, he's playing really good defense. So, I mean, we can at least drown ourselves in that, but, we're not going to be able to afford Gabriel Arias next year. Just from looking at this, you can see we're almost out of money already. It's likely that Patino will opt out of his contract, but since we're only paying like 3.9 of it, it's not going to make that big a dent. It's likely he'll opt out of his contract. We'll probably have to move on from Langley. I can't pay a backup catcher $5.5 million. Wozniak wants $9.5 million in his first year in arbitration. I mean, he's probably worth it. I don't know that we can afford it, though. So, this Willie Castro contract is going to hurt. And honestly, I blame you, Random Task, because you told me to go get my guy. And I went and got my guy, and my guy has dropped from a 88 contact to a 68 contact in less than 6 months. So I blame you, but that's okay. He was in the mid 80s. He's now down under 70, and it is what it is. But yeah, when we signed him, he was an 80. He was somewhere between 84 and 81. He's now 68. So that's going to be a problem, but a problem for another day. Arias wants 9.5. Yeah, that's the plan, is trading Arias away. Trading Arias. I mean, no one wanted him last year, so I can't imagine anyone's going to want him this year for even more money. I just didn't want to DFA him at $6 million. I got no problem to see people want him now, or at least some people do. I got no problem DFAing him at $9 million, or non-tendering him, I should say, at $9 million. And that's, again, the idea of bringing back Kiner Falefa as our starting shortstop is something that appeals to me. But, thankfully we have some players who are going to be cheap next year that are going to contribute. Sal Stewart, Luke Lito, Ian Moeller will be our backup. You assume Sademan Parker will be in the starting rotation. Chad Hornell be up. Ben Guess is still a minimum player. Jim Denny's still a minimum player. So we still have a lot of players who are not making any money, so that allows us to make a mistake here and there. I mean, if I have to DFA or non-tender Arias in the offseason, I will. I'm not too concerned about that. That should free up some money. Ramirez, it looks like we're going to get just enough out of him. His ratings have started to drop a tiny bit. although you wouldn't know it based on his ratings or based on his stats. We have a ready-made replacement waiting for him in Sal Stewart, so I'm not too concerned about it. Ramirez can just play out his contract and we can move on. Yeah, I know. I just didn't expect him to drop this much in half a season. So, thankfully he's still really, really good defensively, so there's still value there. If we have to move on from Glasnow, we can. His stuff has started to drop, so we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the season. But his stuff was over an 80 when the season starts. So if this is down around 70 by the time the season's over, we may not pick up the option. That's another option there. So we've got some ways that we can save some money. I'm not too terribly fussed about it. And if we can finally break through this year and get through the wild card, I'm hoping that attendance will pick up and we'll get a bump to our budgets. We'll just sort of have to see how it goes. So, so that's it, guys. We are at about 27 million at an average of 8 mil per one WAR for batters in the free agent market means as long as he's hitting above 3.375 WAR, you're in the black. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I got, and again, with the offense that we'll have around him, because likely next year, I mean, even maybe this year, Luke Lito should probably be our starter, should be our leadoff hitter. So I think the first thing we're going to do when we come back with the next episode is I'm going to reconfigure my lineup here a little bit. I think it'll be Lito batting leadoff, and then I might shift everybody down one, have Castro batting second, Wesniak third, Ramirez fourth, or maybe Wesniak batting fourth. I don't know. I'll have to fiddle around with the lineup a little bit, but I think it makes more sense to have Luke Lito in the leadoff spot with his 450 on base percentage. So that's gonna do it, guys. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. So if Castro's WAR projection holds true and he has 0 WAR next year, you're still in the black. Yeah, no, you're right. Again, I mean, I get it. I mean, if he ends up at 6.7 WAR, if he could do nothing next year, and I mean, a lot of that is defensive value, and defensive value is still value. It doesn't matter how you look at it. Defensive value is still value. So, So I appreciate you coming and hanging out here. Random Task. Thanks for keeping me company. It's a bit of a quiet night, but that's fine. We will be back next Sunday night with another live stream, same time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Next video will probably be, it's Wednesday. Wednesday and Sunday are my GM Games Colorado Rockies playthroughs, so that one will be posted on YouTube on Wednesday. So once again, I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Random Task, I'll talk to you soon. Everybody else, thanks for coming, and I will talk to you later as well. Have a good night.